Untitled, unfocused. Back at it. Everyone's here. Every single person. Tyler.
Yep, it's Rayman.
Rayman. Yep. And you okay, Ray?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, we got a ton to talk about today. We actually do have a bunch.
Yeah.
You know,
You do be helping.
it usually is with a double episode, but I feel like there's, we got some good stuff.
I just realized double episode means gotta pick a next anime for the next thing or whatever we're doing next.
Yeah, we do. Don't worry, Ray. I got it all covered. I got the
okay, good.
same deal as last time. I got a list. We're gonna go over it. I'm sure you can pull
Checkmate
up.
twice.
I didn't. It might
Gotta
come
make
back
sure
to
it's
haunt
naughty
me.
and nice.
I feel like you can help me with that. I feel like with our powers combined, with the how in Power Rangers they all come together and they form like
I
the.
haven't seen the last episode by Nansen. Thank you for reminding me. I gotta watch that.
You do, yeah, you should do that. I think they
Because
announced.
then when I watch the last episode, I'll see how they actually do it.
Oh, okay, well then I don't want to spoil it for you then, because
Okay.
I think actually they're like continuing that. I think they announced they're like, yeah, this is part of a universe. We're making a bunch more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Gridman was pretty. I like Gridman. Dynazenon's more symbolic.
Okay.
Like, is what I'll say. Like, there's a lot of like shots that are focused in certain ways. That like, unlike if you're watching just for the story, you won't pick it. You know what I mean? But like, if you watch it like looking at the meaning behind certain shots, then like they kind of come out and make sense.
Okay. So do you like the new one then?
Dynazenon, it's enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it says like if you're looking for a better story, I think Gridman's there.
How does it rank against? What was the movie we watched? The other Trigger movie.
Promare?
Promare. Yeah. How does it rank against Promare?
I like it. I mean, like, I like the thing. I think we talked about already, but Promare is feels generic, just with the nice animation on top.
Mm.
So I like it better than Promare Dynazenon.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that I think for both of us, yeah, the story wasn't really what we got from Promare.
Like, Dynazenon has a story that's like but the story's not as deep as Gridman.
Okay.
But Gridman has like this entire idea of like a meta story. That's not there in Dynazenon.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a story though that's being told, but it's not as deep as Gridman's.
Yeah, I have to finish Gridman. I think I watched like 8 episodes of that. I never finished it though.
I would recommend it. I mean, I definitely think the ending is probably the strongest part of Gridman.
Okay, I'll have to finish it then. That's the
Some
best
people
part.
don't like the ending as much, but I think the ending is the stronger part for what they were going for.
I feel like that's always been Trigger's problem though, is their endings are always controversial.
Yeah, but at least for Gridman, it makes sense though for what they want. At least the way I saw it.
Okay.
So I know we do talk about Trigger's endings. It is something that we bring up. But I feel like with Gridman, it's intentional the way they do it that way.
Okay.
With Frank's, it was like what? It was like a reset, and it just felt kind of weird and out of place.
Yeah. I mean, it was that thing where like, looking back, you could see why they did it, but it still would have been better if they did it differently.
That's why the manga exists.
Yeah. And then
At least for
I've seen like half of Gurren Lagann, and people have to complain about that as well. The ending of Gurren Lagann is like kind of similar to Frank's. It's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I haven't seen my brother's seen Gurren Lagann.
Mm.
So that's when we could bring him on.
You know what
He's in like the Beyond though.
Sure. What did he talk about the one day? He came in the one day and he talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! For like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
No joke. He got Yu-Gi-Oh cards recently.
You were telling me that he was thinking about doing that.
He got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Slifer and Obelisk structure decks.
I have seen those.
They are new. They just came out. He went to the store at Walmart, and they were all sold out.
I'm sure they
So
were.
I have to order them online for him.
Mm. Is he just collecting them? Is he like playing? Why?
He asked me to play with him, so he's using the Obelisk one, and I'm using the Slifer one, of course.
See, fool. Slifer's way better. Like, come on.
He's a Kaiba boy, so.
He's wrong then. You know.
I will say though, in the movie, we have to watch that Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
Which one?
The one I told you about, the one that was like the most recent for the new Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, not new Yu-Gi-Oh, the most recent movie that corresponds to original Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. I do remember you telling me about that.
Because there's just a scene where Kaiba does some ridiculous stuff, and it's like, yeah. And the Pharaoh's not there. That's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a post-Pharaoh world.
Do you remember the ending to Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember, because I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember as a kid, I don't know if this was actually the ending. This might have been like, I don't remember like the exact episode it ended on, but I do remember the end battle with Yugi versus the Pharaoh. Right, that was like a big thing. And I remember the stipulations were like, if Yugi wins, then the Pharaoh, like, he's done his job, so now he can go rest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Pharaoh wins, then that means he still has more work to do, and then he'll stay with Yugi or whatever. In my mind, as a kid, I was like, well, then I would just lose. I would just lose. You know what I mean? Because spoiler, he wins, and then the Pharaoh has to leave or whatever, and everyone's sad, and he's like crying or whatever. And I'm like, you should have just lost. Why'd you win? You know? It was such a clear path. Didn't make sense to me. Because he was so much better. You know what I mean? Like the Pharaoh was just clapping people the entire series.
The actual king of games.
Yeah, like he's literally the guy.
Like, he's the one who saved everyone's lives. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah. This whole time, you know. Are you the one that said
and
that?
he has an actual character growth too.
He does. Yeah.
It's like they show you the old him, and he's like a selfish Pharaoh who like doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, but then with the help, I think that was like a big thing in the duel too. Was like, oh, you've learned from me, but I've learned from you. You know. Were you the one that sent me that thing, that meme about Yu-Gi-Oh? Either you sent it to me or I just saw it, but it was the one where it was like an alternative history. If what's his name, the like bug guy, if he never threw Exodia off the end of the boat, and it like cut to where were they going? Like Duel's Kingdom, right? That's where they were on their way to. And it was Yugi's duel versus the bug dude, and Yugi just pulled Exodia like his first turn. I thought that was funny because he they had to do that or else Yugi would have just destroyed the entire tournament. You know.
It's like, it's a nice way to get rid of one like thing that's kind of like automatically makes Yugi win in duels, to make it more interesting, at least for a viewer perspective.
Oh, because that was purely a plot device for the first like 3 episodes of the show. It was so that he could beat Kaiba, you know. But then after that, they realized, oh, this is way too powerful. We can't actually have this in the show.
It's like he technically would win every time.
Yeah, exactly. He would win every duel, you know.
And also, like, if he's relying on this, then there's no creative way we can go around this.
Exactly right. Yeah, because you would have painted yourself in a corner. Because it's like, well, the end game, no matter what succeeds or what fails, you always have Exodia to fall back on, you know. And then there was that was another thing that kind of broke my brain as a kid, was when they went to Duelist City, right? That whole arc. And there was the one, well, actually there was multiple duelists, I guess. They're all part of the same group, and they had like 17 sets of Exodia in their decks, and they were also the people that were using those like drop solution or whatever, so that they can like see through cards or whatever, like in their thing. That I didn't understand that as a kid either. I was like, wait, I thought there's only one set of Exodia. It's not that what makes it special, you know? So like I didn't know, were they using fakes or was there just more copies? You know, I never understood that.
Hang it.
You know, it's a show, whatever.
Hang it.
So one thing that you brought up before the podcast, Ray, that we could talk about it a little bit at this point, you know, because we've also talked about it previously on here. Is the Chainsaw Man trailer came out?
Yeah, we talked about Chainsaw Man on here.
Yeah, pretty extensively.
we did. We talked about, well, the author's great. Again, Fire Punch, if you guys haven't read that,
so good.
Highly recommend. They're two different stories, Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man.
Very different.
Fire Punch is this more meta story that reaches a lot of metaphors and analogies for the world. Chainsaw Man's not that extensive, but it does have some deeper meaning.
Yeah, I would say that Chainsaw Man is definitely more of like a mainstream kind of story. You know, it's not as like psychological as Fire Punch is. I mean, it does have those elements, but
yeah, you can dig into it a bit more and find them, but it's not as blatant as Fire Punch.
I would definitely say towards the ending, which it's not like the ending of the manga, it's just like the ending of the first part, but the ending is where it really, like, all those, again, the, like, deeper meanings where they all kind of come together. It's like, oh, okay, if you were really paying attention, then this ending is super satisfying. And then it sets up the next part very nicely. Yeah, of course, you know, we got Mappa on the case, which they don't miss. You know, as of late anyway. I'm not really familiar with their older works.
Yeah, recently they don't miss. Is one thing to say. I will say, it is crunch.
It is, unfortunately.
It is crunch. But they did say that after this Attack on Titan Season 2, and I think Jujutsu Kaisen, they did say they will be relaxing their crunch schedule. Publicly, they did say that.
That's good. I didn't know that. That's very good.
But the thing is, they put themselves on even more crunch. I talked to you about this, I think I brought it up, where they actually bid to do Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
So they added this onto their already crunched plate.
Well, yeah, I mean, because that's... Chainsaw Man's coming out, not this season that's coming up, but the one after, right? Isn't that when Chainsaw Man? And yeah, I know the upcoming season that we're going to talk about later, I think they're doing 3 shows.
It's pretty extensive.
Which is, again, I don't know how big of a studio how big of a studio Mappa is. Like, you know, because I know a lot of studios are very huge and they can have, like, multiple teams, you know? But 3 shows in one season seems like a lot.
Yeah, and it's all crunch. It's going to be.
Yeah. Which,
so, I mean, the work is awful.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, in the anime industry specifically, stuff like crunch is a very prevalent issue in almost every studio. I would say the one that usually comes out on top is it KyoAni? Is that the one? I think that might be the studio that everyone always says, oh no, this studio though, they don't crunch, and like all their employees are always like, no, we don't crunch, the conditions are great, they give us time. You know, I think that's the studio. I could be mixing up with another one, but I think that's the one.
Yeah. So they did say they'd be relaxing. Who knows how that's actually going to be relaxed in the future?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, they're all the things they're picking up on their play are bangers, and it's going to be really disappointing if they can't emulate that correctly. But the thing is, it's hard to say. They've already showed Jujutsu Kaisen. They've already showed Attack on Titan. Chainsaw Man PV already looking clean. So at least with the way they set up right now, if they have stuff right now that they're doing for this season. I don't know how I don't know what they have going next season, but they may have to. They're probably already doing it right now. If like Chainsaw Man PV's coming out now, that means they've already done like a lot of things working for that.
Again, I don't. Yeah, I'm same as you. I don't know, like, along with Chainsaw Man, I don't know what else they're doing for that season, but And again, like they could have also picked up a bunch of shows for like financial reasons. You know, maybe they need the work to be able to support. You know, I'm not sure about that specifically, but if they could, I would focus on Chainsaw Man, because I feel like if that is like 10 out of 10, like the hype around Chainsaw Man with the manga and everything, it like it's in a very good place. It's in a very similar place, and I hate talking about this because it makes me sad every time. But with Act Age, you know to me it's in a very similar spot as Act Age, where it is teed up to be,
it's perfection, right?
yeah, to be like one of the next big things that everyone talks about. And so I feel like they just focus on this and make it every bit as good as it should be, and they will be set. You know.
See, that's the thing though. Like, look at their plate right now. So like, they got like Jujutsu Kaisen, right? It's like the movie's already slated. I think they've shown off like, you know, like not the trailer, but they showed off like the promotional art. They have the posters, and like it's slated for Christmas release. Around then. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, that's gonna clean up Attack on Titan. If the Attack on Titan is not well animated for the last season, people are gonna outrage.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like, and like Jujutsu Kaisen's set up right now where it's basically like Demon Slayer, where if this movie flops, or if the movie like is successful, it basically pushes forward the franchise single-handedly.
It does, yeah.
Because Demon Slayer movies shown how big that could be. So like Mappa's got themselves slated for that as well. So if this movie has to be good, they're willing to like try to even match Demon Slayer right now. And then with Chainsaw Man, you're right, it's like New Arrow Shonen right here. With this and Jujutsu Kaisen, they have to kind of push it.
It's actually a really good comparison with Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, because I feel like they're in very similar boats. I mean, I think I probably like Jujutsu Kaisen just a little bit more, but they both were like, you know, just a single show, and they got pretty big, and now they're coming out with a movie, and you know, before the next season of the show, and they're both huge. You know, they're both two shows that people put towards the top.
They got two studios that are working them all too. Like, I mean, like they got Ufotable working on Demon Slayer. The budget's like outside the roof.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And then Mappa here, the budget may not be as high as Ufotable, but gosh, it looks good.
It's still very clean.
It's not. They're no slouch either, you know.
No, not at all. Not at all. And like, even if like the quality of like the art wasn't a 10 out of 10, like their, like, you know, the way their fight scenes are choreographed and everything, and like how fluid they are, like, you know, that carries it alone in Jujutsu Kaisen, you know. So it wouldn't have to be, because, you know, I know with like Demon Slayer, you know, especially with like the like water thing,
the art style's pretty clean, and like
yeah,
Ufotable focuses on the fights as well.
Yeah.
That's their thing. They always do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I don't read a lot of manga, but I don't like watch a lot of stuff that I've already read. But I think with this, I'm probably gonna watch it. You know.
Yeah, I've already told you I've read all of Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't wait to see it animated. Oh, God, I'm so excited for season 2. I'm so excited for the movie to come out. I'm excited for Chainsaw Man. It's a good time to be a manga and anime.
I was literally about to say it's a good time.
It's a good time, you know. Act Age was a part of that golden age.
God, man. You know, I was thinking about Act Age last night, and I just got sad. You know, just like I wish I never read this.
Sometimes you think it would have been better, but like the thing is, like, it's so he's a genius.
It's so tragic.
It's like the author's a genius, and then the artist is also insane for making us recognize the genius.
Yeah, because that is not easy to like take what they're trying to convey and actually convey it. Not easy.
It's like there's 2 layers of genius here, and the author ruins it. But
ruined it.
It's like the author has this insane story built up, but for something that's so built on the idea of having everything visibly made, because it all revolves around film, it all revolves around play, it all revolves around acting, and having to portray that through the characters is also insane on top of that. Which is why I felt like if Act Age was an anime, it would have been the perfect medium.
It would have killed.
It's how else would you convey the choice of acting, which is just so meta in the first place, then with also having voice actors behind it.
Yeah, I mean, Shonen was even, they were promoting it like heavy as like the next big thing, you know? It's just probably the biggest disappointment ever.
No, the sad thing is I heard that he's gonna walk free, dude. Like he's just gonna be in prison for a couple of years and he's gonna be out.
That's
But
tough.
no one's gonna want to hire him though,
No, probably not.
because his publishing career is like basically over,
Yeah,
unless they're willing to like overlook it.
yeah. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if he would go under like another name or something like
Yeah.
that. Like then maybe.
But they'd have to like, I guess they like job screenings and whatnot. They'll like look.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's gonna be very difficult, you know, for him to for him to do that again.
It's like, I definitely know for Jump he's blacklisted. They're not going to bring him back.
No. Yeah.
Jump wiped their hands clean from him, and they're trying to get the artist with a new set. So it's like,
Which
she's so good.
yeah, she's so good. She 100% deserves it.
Like, it's a 50-50 carry there.
Hmm.
At least half of that's getting good.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, the story she's working on is just as good.
I hope so. Cause yeah, like exactly. She definitely deserves it. She's definitely proven that, you know, her skills.
It's difficult to do Act Age.
Hmm.
Like, to convey that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely versus like the other stuff at Shonen, right? Where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, if you like, I don't know, like,
Like, I
Not-
mean, like, it's weird to say, like, battle scenes compared to, like, other stuff. But, like, you're showing, like a battle scene is more of, like, an epic stage.
mhm.
But, like, to show, like, emotion and, like, the entire display of that, make you feel connected to someone in the moment. Like, they're two different ways of doing something.
Mhm.
It requires a separate skill set than what you normally see.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's completely different.
Like, you can compare them and be like, yes, they're both great, but they're two separate skills to do.
Yeah. So, let's
Dude, thanks for the pressure.
yeah, it happens, man.
Think about it later today.
Let's go to some other anime stuff, Ray. Something that I'm bringing to the table today.
Bring it to the table.
I think, I don't know if I told
You
you.
got an anime figure?
Sorry?
What?
Wait,
What?
Are you?
You bought an anime figure? You bring it to the table?
Yes, but I'm not wasn't gonna talk about it.
Wait, for real?
No, not really. I thought about it, but that's too much.
Wahid was talking about figures.
Oh yeah,
Wahid was like, I gotta buy a Hestia figure.
has to keyword.
He has to buy a Hestia figure. And from people who don't know Hestia, it's from the I want to pick up girls in that dungeon.
Yep.
Or is it wrong to pick up girls in that dungeon?
Sure.
That Hestia.
Mm,
And he specifically, I think, outlined he wants it to be the bunny girl one.
nice, a man of culture.
So that's reference for anyone who understands that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so I finished Death Note.
Hey,
I don't know if I told you that, but I did.
how'd it go?
So it was good. It was definitely, it definitely lived up to all the hype that I've heard about it, you know, because again, it's one of those shows that lots of people have watched, pretty popular, pretty highly regarded. But so there's a few things, right? So last time ended off, one of my big takeaways was I liked Light versus L, right?
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
like a
no,
big
feel free.
thing. And so spoilers for Death Note. Just want to say that before I say anything else. L dies, and I wasn't expecting that. So like, you know, because L was a beast, right? Like he you know, didn't get everything right at first, but he eventually figured everything out exactly as it was. And I was very scared when he died because there was still like 10 episodes left in the show.
Mhm.
And I was like, what is this show gonna be now? Because like Light wins. You know, there's literally no one else that can go against him, right? Like, in that scene where he died too, where like Light was holding Elle in his arms, and like Elle's eyes were closing, and as they were closing, you look up at Light, and Light just has that like evil smile. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. But then there's like 10 episodes left, and I was scared because then like the epilogue of that episode was them introducing Elle's successors. I don't remember their names, but it was like two people, and it was literally like the whole thing, like the home. It was basically like X-Men, right, where Xavier has a school. That's basically what it was, and there was these two people that were supposed
Gifted youths.
Sorry, what was that?
A school for gifted.
Yeah, basically.
Whatever it called.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gifted youngsters. But I was because that to me felt very lazy from like a writing perspective of like, oh, Elle dies, so what do we do? Oh, there's just two other L's now that we've never talked about before, you know. But as the end of the show kept going, I was like, okay, I was kind of okay with it. I feel like they figured stuff out too quickly, you know. I mean, I guess they got Elle's detective work, right? That was like the whole thing, was he left behind, all that stuff. But I feel like it was a little too quick, but I thought it was nice. I thought, you know, by the end, the whole demise of Light was good, you know, of him basically losing because of his own hubris, you know, him thinking he has everything under control when he doesn't. Yeah, I thought it was nice. I thought, you know, it was cool to see that. You know, I could definitely see where people would have conversations about the show as it was coming out of like, well, who's right? You know, is what Light's doing actually right? Because he is killing criminals, right? You know, he's killing bad people. I don't think that argument has any weight, though. the death penalty for someone robbing a corner store doesn't really make any sense to me. But I thought it was good, though. I thought it was good. Very solid, and it was a lot of episodes, and it was still able to hold my attention, which like longer shows, you know, sometimes that doesn't work out because, you know, longer shows, a lot of dips and like whatever. We've had issues with that before with shows where it's like, this is just a setup episode, you know, so we don't really care about it. But yeah, Death Note, it's pretty good. Everyone should go watch it.
Yeah. Death Note's pretty good. It really is. It does live up to the hype going through it. The only thing they changed the death scene, I think, for Light. It's like in the anime you saw, like, how did Light die?
Ryuko killed him. He wrote in his name in his journal, right? His name is journal, and I think it was just a heart attack, and he just kind of fell over and died.
Yeah. Manga, the change they make is that Ryuk still kills him. But it's out of like pleas of desperation. Like Light finds himself cornered, realizes he's being caught. So you see, you know, he's surrounded, and then he's like, Ryuk, save me, Ryuk, get me out of here. And then Ryuk's cocky. He's like, remember how I told you I'd be the one to write your name in the Death Note? Finish everything what you started? Or something like that. You know, something along these lines. He's like, it's been a great ride, pal. Thanks for everything.
I see.
A nice monologue he gives to him. As like pleads to like for him to save him, and he writes his name.
Yeah, I think that was different than in the show. Yeah, because Ryuk definitely like said some of those things, but it didn't come off as much as like arrogant as you're making it sound like in the show. Like I feel like it was more just like, yeah, we've reached our end, and you know, I told you we're gonna, you know, it was gonna end this way. You know, I gotta write your name in the Death Note, so I guess that's it, Light. I mean, like that was kind of the energy. It wasn't like, haha, like I told you so. It wasn't really that far into that, like in the show at least. it was just like, well, this is happening. You know, this is the end for
Yeah.
you.
At least in the manga, it felt to me more arrogant.
Hmm.
Like, more like, this is the consequences of your actions.
Which does make sense, which I think that might make a little more sense for the story, only because that is how he and other Shinigami were kind of set up, of like,
Mhm.
they are gods and they only come down to Earth to play, you know, so they
Mhm.
don't really care about humans. I know, like,
Yeah.
some of them fall in love with humans, which is why the other Shinigami died,
Mhm.
or like she was going to or something. But yeah, I mean, that does make more sense for him to be like, all right, run's over, I'm killing you now. Because I don't really care about you. I don't really care what happens here. This is just my amusement, right?
Mhm. There's no way of saying like which one's better because it depends on how you perceive Light
Mm-hmm.
and how you perceive like Ryuk's relationship with him. Um, I will say the arrogance kind of is like you get what you wish for. Like
Mhm.
you knew coming in this is what I was gonna do, and now you come pleading back to me saying to save your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense on both sides. I think that
Versus like the indifference Ryuk, right? Where
yeah,
he's like, well, that's it,
yeah, like show's over. I'm gonna change the channel now. Like whatever.
Yeah, I'll find someone else to play with.
Yeah, it's not that hard. There's like 8 billion people on this earth. Yeah, it was cool.
They both work. I respect both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one thing I remember because I was going into Death Note, did not go in blind. My cousin watched it, so I already knew going in that L's a dead man.
Okay.
Also because AMVs were a thing, it was
Sure.
remember memories of watching the Linkin Park in the end AMV.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
And you see like Light trying to write names in blood.
Yep, he did do that a few times.
Yeah, man. If that doesn't age you, I don't know what does.
There was a lot of times in the show though that that made it really good, is when there were times where like Light did something or L did something or whatever, and it was like super clever, like something like that, right? Where Light hid away a page in his watch, and he eventually used it to, he killed the person, and I don't remember. This was the whole scene where he still lost his memories, and like the helicopter came down. They were killing the dude who he set up to give the death note to, so that he can touch it again and gain all his memories or whatever. And then he popped the watch out and he did the blood thing, and I was like, that's some real dedication to write someone else's name in blood on the piece of the death note.
Yeah, it's some. He's willing to go hard. One thing that stands out to me though, is towards that big climax of L finding out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dilemma with his father as well, and his father also finds out, and he dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Light killed." Well, not Light. They're like, "Kira killed him," and then I'm like, "Yes, but actually no."
Yes, but not in the way that you think.
It's like him finding out is Kira gave him the heart attack.
Yeah. I mean, it's a crazy situation to be in. You're the dad. You're like the head of the whatever too,
Mhm.
with the force. Oh man.
Yeah, no, Death Note's a fun ride.
It's good. Yeah, I'm finished it. I'm looking for my next show to watch. I don't really know what it'll be yet.
It's a good one.
I was thinking of doing Code Geass next.
Ooh, I'd be down for a Code Geass watch.
Yes, man. I just hear that's really good. So
If you want, we could add it to the list.
it's possible. I don't know how long it is though. I think it's a long one. I think it's like 25 episodes.
Okay, Google. How long is Code Geass?
Don't answer him. Don't do it.
I don't want to know the movie runtime. Movie runtime's an hour 53.
Oh, we can do that. That's not bad at all. That's like 4 episodes.
Code Geass anime. It does seem like a 25er.
Yeah.
It's a 25er.
Well, we can well, let's just get into it then, right? Because you're right, we do have to talk about some of the shows we are gonna do next season, or next time. But I mean, before we get into that, we can finish off some of these shows, right? So we you know, our existing shows, we finished off Megalo Box and SNAFU. Okay. Why don't we talk about SNAFU first? I feel like there's more to talk about with Megalo Box.
Yo, Megalo Box is hype.
Megalo Box is crazy. How'd you like SNAFU, Ray? How'd you was that, you know?
Every week we come in and we say the same thing about SNAFU, so I'll just repeat the points that we'll repeat anyway.
Yeah.
It's like point number 1, SNAFU, dude. If we watched it when it came out, it would have been crazy.
Crazy.
What an interesting concept for a show. It's like we haven't had it. Like how many other times reiterated upon and grown upon and made it enhanced compared to what we have. Thank you, SNAFU, for what you give into the rom-com genre, but at this point you're obsolete. Does that kind of sum it up?
Yeah, basically. I mean, the show,
Again, you're not a bad show.
No,
You're just a show that didn't age well.
Nah, yeah, it didn't age well. I mean, I don't know about like the newer seasons. Maybe it's better, you know, because it's more contemporary. But I mean, even the end of the show, it wasn't super satisfying. Like some stuff happened, and there was like a little bit of growth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then the last episode was like, all right, festival's over, and we're back to the club, and here's the credits. I'm like, there wasn't like what happened in the past 13 episodes? What happened? You know, there was no like, there was a little bit of character growth with the main character with Yukiko, but like, I feel like the show could have been condensed into like 4 episodes. You know?
Yep. I do like that they are stuff like that they kind of hint at towards character growth and like doing things. But like, you know, for a 13 episoder, it's like that's all you're gonna get. So this show, I'm assuming, is intended to, you're supposed to go and watch like the second season.
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is all just like a prologue or prequel. You're building your characters, you're building your relationships, and then we'll go into like a second season and kind of break that even further down, which is nice. But season 1 as itself doesn't stand well.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think for SNAFU, I would highly recommend going into a season 2, maybe later with us. We can try doing a season 2 here and see if that does anything with it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I could, you know, that could bring some actual meat and potatoes, you know, to the story.
Because season 1 seems like a lot of character introductions, introducing character motives, setting up like plot points that are happening in the future and all that stuff, and like relationships and all that.
So,
a nice big 13 episode setup.
Yeah, but on the other end of that spectrum, we do have Megalo Box, and man, what a show! You know, what a show.
A real nice show.
Probably my favorite out of the 4, I would say, that we're doing.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes.
I did forget about Tokyo Revengers, but that hasn't ended yet, so I can't really speak on that.
I'll speak right now and say for right now, I enjoyed Megalo Box the most.
Okay.
For right now, that could change. Tokyo Revengers is kind of, it's got some nice parts, you know, and it's not as tropic as I would like it to be. So Tokyo Revengers, well, no, not as tropic as I thought it would be. That's what I should say. So Tokyo Revengers is kind of going up on my alley, you know, in an increase. But I think Megalo Box really is in that sweet spot for me right now.
Okay, so then how'd you like the ending then of Megalo Box?
Megalo Box is grand. Like, okay, so we have like our man's losing an eye on purpose, which is crazy, and he has to walk away with that because it's the one punishment that he could ever have. He's like, it's the perfect punishment. The guy's like, imagine you can't see your man box on the stage ever again.
Which is funny because he had like some like daredevil qualities towards the end where he was like, nah, but my other senses are heightened, so now I can like hear him box.
Yeah, he's like he's been, I guess, training him for so long that he can like see him on the stage without
Mhm.
actually seeing him, as well as like know what he's doing, and he hears like the action there.
It's like
And then
I mean, we've never talked about the show on this podcast before, so but if you ever seen it, Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's Toph.
Man's talk,
Yeah, Toph. He's basically, basically Toph. He's like echolocation.
and he's clean too. I mean, like,
He's good. He definitely knows his stuff.
yeah, the kid's like, he's grown too.
Hmm.
He's willing to go out there, and Joe is just. So he's a force, dude.
Joe's an absolute monster.
He took all those hits, dude. How many rounds they went? So many rounds.
Yeah, it was like 13 rounds or something crazy.
Forgot the other guy's name.
Yuri.
Yuri? Yeah, Yuri.
Mm.
And then like he comes and like lives with them now, like the house.
Hmm. Again, with
Like
him,
Shibrato.
we had good character growth with him as well, with Yuri. For him to like realize what he actually wanted, because remember last episode we talked about how we had that great conversation between him and Joe
Mhm.
when they were just chilling. They were just like, "Hey,
Mhm.
what's your dream? Why do you like boxing?" And he was like, she saved me, so now her dream is my dream." And then with these 3 episodes, it was like, I realized that that's not what I should live for. Like, your dream is your dream, and it's great. You're getting that contract, whatever. But now there's stuff that I need to do for me. That's why he was like, he took off his gear, which was a crazy like operation, and then he had to like deal with the pain of that and like almost learn how
Now
to
he's-
box.
Now he's in a wheelchair now.
He is, yeah.
And like he points out in the fight as well, where like if he sits down, he was never gonna get back up,
Yep.
so he had to keep standing.
Mm-hmm.
The pain, I guess, from having it removed is just too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, 'cause like he went like the permanent route with it, with like him and Shirato. It was like, oh no,
Mhm.
you're gonna be the dude. You're gonna be like an android, basically,
Yeah.
or a
And then
cyborg.
Shirato, I guess, like selling the tech,
Mm-hmm.
at the end. I do appreciate in the one fight where like he wasn't listening. He had like he had the gear on, and as the fight progressed, the gear's getting broken and taken off. He's going through a transformation again.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a Spider-Man 2-esque.
Sure. Yeah, I see that.
Like the transformation's happening mid-fight.
Mm.
He's learning that he can't be alone without the trainer. He's going forward. It's really beautiful. And then like Yuri, of course, and him have that great like one-on-one fight. OG boxing. It wasn't even a gear fight at that point,
No,
but it was for Megalovania.
it was more about like the people and like the heart of the sport.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what it stands for, yeah. And it got me excited to watch season 2.
It did. Yeah.
I did not watch season 2, I will say. I felt like I could have binged it, but you know what I did? I have some self-respect. I was like, let me not watch season 2. Let me just watch the trailer for season 2.
That was a trailer.
That was a mistake. And the reason why it's a mistake is now I'm overly hyped for season 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something for trailer because like, you're gonna probably watch it anyway. It is a very different story than the first one.
Oh really? Okay.
It's like how many years later, he no longer goes by Joe, he goes by Nomad. And he's playing, he's throwing and like winning matches in underground exhibitions again. And he's like depressed and he's taking like a lot of drugs.
Okay. Interesting. I wonder why.
It's because like he lost like a match.
He lost a match.
He lost like a match against another Megalovania boxer.
I
He was
see.
like a champion. So he went like a big deep depression. Trailer shows shots. You get like a shot at Yuri. There's like some flashback shot at the trainer. You get a shot of like the grown-up boy now,
That's cool.
cause it's been some time. And he's like struggling, dude. Like he feels like he's washed up and everything, and I'm like, dude, I'm not sure if I like the show ended so nicely. was like a big happy ending. Everyone's together. Like even Sharada was coming by the house, to see Yuri every now and then. And I'm like, not so bad. Everyone's nice. Got a nice gym set up. Where did it all go wrong?
It's been a long few years.
I'm like, this is all anime only too. It's not like there's anything they're basing it on. I'm like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. See, like why he would do that, and
It's a different type of show. It got me excited. I'm like, I didn't realize that it would go this way, a more serious route.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they probably made that decision so they're not just making season 1 again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, there's another
No, but
tournament.
it seems like it flows well. It looks great, like conceptually. So whenever you want to do season 2, let me know. Obviously, I will be putting my foot down and be like, yes, we have to watch season 2. I'm fine giving it a break for like a couple seasons. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And like we'll catch up on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. I'll have to put a pin in that. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
It's good. Like it's really good. Like the trailer, I would highly recommend watching it later today.
Okay.
And give me just your thoughts. It really got me excited.
I'll definitely do that then. Yeah. So we got our other shows, right? Other 2 shows that we are going to be wrapping up very soon.
Well, let's touch your eternity, I guess.
Yeah. Why not? Your Eternity. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I've already read the manga and everything, so why don't you give your thoughts?
Okay. So To Eternity. Trying to remember, we reunited, right? That was a big thing. Got them back.
The big 3.
Big 3. I know we got some more story with like the princess.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool, I guess. He was like seeing the like spirit demon thing again.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure if it was like in his mind, because every time it would cut away, like there was no one there.
You mean the knockers? Oh, the god.
Yeah, I don't know. But then after he was fighting, because then there was that huge like demon monster thing in the forest. He was
the
fighting.
big knock.
Yeah. and then our boy with the helmet came out with fire. That was his big plan. He was gonna breathe fire at him. It didn't work. That's really all I remember, right? In 2 episodes. Remember that fight? Remember them coming together?
It's what happened, It's like they came back together, invited to the house. They fought the knocker, they lived, and then time skip.
Yes, you're right. Time skip. He's like all buff now. He's like all big and buff, and like.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah, and our main dude was like Fushi or something. He still looks the same pretty much.
He's just taller.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Still lanky.
That was another big like thing too, where it's kind of weird because it goes with last episode where we were talking about how he's becoming more human, which we don't know if that's a good thing or not for him to like become human. And like with this, it's kind of growing on that where it's like he's aging, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean like that's something I can touch on later. But that's like it's gonna the show's gonna cover it. Why? It's like it's 25 episode or whatever it is. We're going
20.
20 episodes? Yeah. There's like a lot of time to really touch on that and what they're going for. So I think with 20 episodes, that's gonna cover out the end of this arc.
Okay.
Because like now we got time skip, so we're gonna have a couple more episodes to kind of build it up and get to that climax and have resolution.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's it. Yeah. Because like time skip now, so that's like a part 2 to the arc that we're getting into.
Cool. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We got Tokyo Revengers, which is a pretty close number 2 for me out of the four shows we're doing. And
personally, I would say it's not close, but that's again, these are different opinions we have here.
Sure.
I still rank it number 2.
Sure. I mean, I think like in my mind, it's just because personally, the other 2 shows very low, very very distant 3 and 4 in my mind.
What would you rank higher, SNAFU or?
Probably To Your Eternity, just because I feel like I've watched SNAFU before. You know.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Although To Your Eternity had a lot more build up in the beginning for me. Like people would like there's a lot more hype around it. Like, oh man, this show looks nuts, and then it's going, and I'm like, it's kind of slow. You know.
Yeah, it's a slow build story. Like it builds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's more like because you're basically following Fushi as you go forward.
Yeah.
And like the journey experience that he has. So even as like the world changed around him, you're following him.
Yeah, which I feel like I knew going into it. It was more of like an adventure anime and not like drama or suspense or anything like that. So whenever it's adventure, that does sign a little slower, a little more like traveling, and you know.
Yeah, we'll build it up. You know, it's an enjoyable slow ride with depression built into it. Because that author is really good at making depression.
That is true. That is true. I'll give them that. But with Tokyo Revengers, I thought the last couple episodes were pretty good. I thought big fight actually happened, which seems like our main boy just can't really ever win. He can't, he just can't stop the events that are destined to happen. You know, was it Dracoon, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Draken, dude.
Draken. He didn't die, right? But he was close.
And they got the ambulance.
They did get the ambulance.
And Mikey won a fight.
It's true. Yeah.
After getting stabbed in the hand.
Yeah, that did. It did.
It's
happen.
actually a Beast Mode Savage moment.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I mean, I like, there's more character growth there, right? Of him not running away for once. But him fighting him, I was like, you're an idiot. Like there's no chance you're gonna win. But he did what he was supposed to do, right? He held him off for long enough so that the ambulance could get there.
It's like, that's pretty big, dude. Imagine you get stabbed in the hand, you find the will to pull the knife out, throw it to the ground, and then chokehold someone.
Yeah.
To knock him out, while your hand is still bleeding and in pain. The adrenaline's like just pumping through you at that point.
Yeah, and like that dude was way stronger than him. Like you could see on his arm there was like the imprints of where the dude was like grabbing his arm that was choking him. Like it was like bruised, you know. It was like he was really locked in. That fight though was crazy. I mean there was cool build up, right, with our group of like 3 going in, and it's like you guys are gonna lose. There's like 200 people here, and then Mikey comes in on his motorcycle, but then he goes for the kick, and the dude blocks it. I was like, oh man, you guys, for a second there you had me, but I think you guys are still gonna lose. And then the whole Tokyo Manji gang comes in, and it's like, all right, now this is gonna be a real fight.
And then with like Mikey as well, his friends coming in to help him out in the end.
Yep.
Fine time. It's all nice, you know. And then Mikey actually has someone who we call like a pseudo equal in fighting. Someone who can like basically match close with Kraken. That's kind of nice for Mikey.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I thought they did a good job with these couple episodes of. I don't know, maybe Takemichi actually has a chance of doing this, because there was quite a few moments there where it felt like Draken was going to die. It's like, what is he gonna do, right? But they did get the ambulance, and it's like, if they save him, does that change the future enough?
Yeah. It's like, let's say like you save Draken, right? And then you go to the future because that's the best thing to do after you make sure he's alive. Then you see how that changes. Then you go back and see what else you can do. The only thing he has to worry about really is himself.
I mean, it's like, does the whole time travel thing, is that like 1-to-1? So like, if he goes to the future for 10 minutes and then goes back does he then go back?
Yeah.
Like it's like exactly right, like exactly.
Yeah.
What is it, like 10 years or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Because yeah, I figure like I would just go in and be like, hey, little brother, I don't remember what his name is. What's going on? What's the future like? And they're like, all right, cool. This is that and this is that. All right, I'm going back. Because yeah, you're right. Like, not old or like not young Takemichi being in the body, not good. Because that man makes bad decisions, and we need the actual future Takemichi in the young body as much as possible.
Like a day or two is okay, you know what I mean? Like you can stay out for like a day or two, but
Sure.
like that gives you some leeway. You got like some leeway to come up with something to kind of go with what you got to do for the future. It's not much time. Like I wouldn't be gone for like a week. I would say 3 days tops.
Yeah. I mean, because
You don't want him messing up anything there.
No, because like he doesn't have any of the memories or knowledge, right? So he's just, like I'm kind of curious how that works too. Like, is it just?
Oh yeah, like imagine he just hears like all this stuff he said. It's like, you mean I did this?
He said, "Wait, I got stabbed in the hand. I caught a knife with my bare hand."
You mean I chokeholded a guy and won? I never win.
Literally never. That's my character.
I lose.
I'm kind of
I just
interested.
know how left he grows to be a Chad.
Yeah. So something I never considered, but when you said it however many weeks ago, it made sense. Where it was like, oh, there's probably gonna be multiple seasons of the show. Like the whole story isn't wrapping up in one season.
Yeah.
So then that that did kind of change what my expectations were for the end of the show, because by the end I was thinking, oh, we're gonna see if it worked or not. But now, probably not the case. So I'm interested to see where they actually end. Because again, I didn't read the manga, so I don't know like what the different arcs are.
Yeah.
But we only have 3 episodes left. So it's like, where are they gonna end it? And like, what's the cliffhanger gonna be? Where exactly are they gonna stop?
Yeah. Like, how are you gonna save her life? What happens if you save her life, right? But then the brother's dead.
Oh, we don't
How
care
would
about
you go
the
back
brother.
to the past?
No, we don't care about the brother. If the brother dies, he dies. Listen, he gave me the time powers. He served his purpose.
You're dead.
Yeah, exactly. If he dies, he dies. I mean, that's really the whole thing, right? Like, I mean, I guess he formed a relationship with him, but I don't really think he cares too much about the brother. The most he knows about the brother is him going to the future, or I guess the present, and the brother just like being on him the whole time he's there. And he's like, I want to leave.
It's like, must you shake my hand?
I like the idea of like Takemichi having to do some sort of whatever, like some sort of briefing with the brother, and he just doesn't want to do it anymore, and he just wants to leave, and so he's trying to grab the brother's hand, and the brother's like, no, we have more work to do here before you go back. So he's like trying to dodge him. It's like a game of tag.
The brother puts on gloves.
It's funny. Yeah, thought it was good. Just to see where it ends up next week. We are finishing both of, well, we're not actually. So that is actually what I want to talk to you about, right? Because obviously I got a bunch of ideas for shows and everything like that. But To Your Eternity's not ending, right? So
No, I think there's gonna be a second season.
well, no, I mean with it's not ending next week, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so I'm looking at like the list right here. Yo, check this
Sure,
out.
go ahead.
Okay, this is for Chainsaw Man. All right. So we got the screenplay is gonna be done by the guy who did Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan.
Okay.
The Devil Design guy is the guy who did Devilman Crybaby designs.
Okay.
Okay. Music design also Devilman Crybaby, Silent Voice, Ping Pong the animation. Character designs the guy who did Mushoku Tensei.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea. Action director is the guy who did Black Clover. This is like stacked right here. This is the director's first cast, but I mean, the art director's this guy who's actually kind of big. He did Great Pretender, Guilty Crown, and a bunch more other stuff. Let me see here what else he did. Done stuff for Fate, done stuff for Professor Layton, Sakura Wars, Shelter, Star Fox, Tales. Yo, this guy's big, dude. Staffed on what? Staffed on Berserk, Black Lagoon. Yo.
Yeah, I did hear that the casting or like the staff came out and people were like, yeah, it is stacked. Like, it is a ridiculous team working on this anime.
Yo, Mappa pulling out no breaks. They want this to be a success.
They need it to be a success.
Mappa's like, if we fail Chainsaw Man, imagine that they bought the rights to it. Like, you can't fail that, right?
You can't.
Like before they just announced the anime was like getting something there. They put all their money in before they even decided like what studio. They're like, oh, we'll just put everything in. Just take this, we'll do it. Like,
all the resources.
If they fail after you bid on it, like, there's no coming back, right?
Yeah, there's no coming back. You might as well just retire.
You might as well even take the project as a bid in the first place. It's not like, you know, oh, we're looking for studios. It's like, no, we're bidding. Like, straight up, no, just get here. It's like, oh, yes, okay. Good.
Alright. So, Rayman. Yeah, I mean, that show's gonna be nuts. You know,
I'm sorry for bringing it back.
Nah, I mean, you know. So, we got old shows, right? We finished the old shows. We just talked about them. One of them was great. Other one not so great. I have ideas. I have a few ideas for what our next ones for those could be for our like old stuff. Before I tell them to you though, one of my ideas, or I guess both of ours, whatever. A few weeks ago, talked about how I wanted to watch Dragon Prince again. Yep. Figuring out how we could continue that. Would you like to make that one of our old?
I would love to get Dragon Prince back on.
All right. So yes, well, for everyone out there, Dragon Prince, great show, made by the writers or whatever of Avatar and Korra. So it's like their third show basically. We watched the first season of the show on here actually a while ago, and we're gonna do the second season now. There's just one thing there, right, for you to be aware of. Season is 9 episodes, so there's gonna be like a couple weeks at the end here where, you know, we'll have nothing. I'm sure we could fill that with something, but you know, just so you're aware. So for the other slot, I already sent you the list. That was the list I sent you a few days ago or whatever. But what I'm bringing to the table is I got Classroom of the Elite. I actually didn't check. Oh no, I did. These are all 12 or 13. Classroom of the Elite, Place Further Than the Universe, Devil's Line, or Makaku City Actors. Those are the 4 that I compiled. I was looking up. So yeah, if you do you know about any of those, Ray? Has any of those speaking to you? Do you have a different idea?
Look back to it again. It was Classroom of the Elite. Further Than the Universe, you said? And then Makaku City Actors and Devil's Line? I've heard of Makaku City Actors. I've heard of Classroom of the Elite as well. Let me just make sure. Don't. Google.
Classroom of the Elite, I think is. I mean, you're looking it up,
Classroom of the Elite. Make fun of me.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Every time I go to. Every time I go to my phone to do it, it's like it's like a bigger joke than it has to be. Baby, they don't hurt you.
Yeah, with Classroom of the Elite, I think is like another like tournament type thing. It's like a not tournament.
It's one of these
like battle
one of these,
royale.
these school battle royale genre.
Yeah, battle royale. Place further than the universe is more of like a slice of life type thing. I think that's the one where they go to Antarctica or something.
Yeah, they go to Antarctica.
Megalo City actors. I think it's like there's like a group of people. Ray's speaking something into his phone. I don't know what he's doing.
It's comedy.
Don't remember Devil's Line though. Don't remember what that's about. Couldn't tell you. I just remember reading about
August 14th. He argues with this e-girl. Spills soda on his keyboard. You know, I remember seeing the first episode of this in club.
Of what?
Megalo City actors.
Yeah, me too. I do remember the first episode. Well, I don't really remember it, but I do remember that we watched it.
If I tell you the summary, you'll remember the first episode. He spills like soda on his keyboard, goes to the department store, and is set up in a hostage situation.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, yeah. And there's like
It is also Shaft animated.
It is Shaft. Yeah, do you remember that?
And then you said Devil's Line.
Devil's Line. Yeah.
Devil's Line anime.
How are you doing that without asking for Google first?
What?
You just like speech to text on right now?
What?
You're lazy. You're the laziest person. Your hands are literally free. You could type it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not like you have a banana in one hand and a shoe in the other, and you're like, how do I type in? How do I search for this? You are an animal. You did not. Ray's gaslighting me.
What are we talking about?
Gaslighting is one of the funniest concepts.
Alright, listen. Just listen.
One of the funniest things to me. Whenever anyone says stop gaslighting me, it's like the funniest 3 words. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is like a vampire show.
Yeah, it's like vampire, but it's like, I don't know. I think there's some part of like dystopian parts to it as well.
You know, is it kind of like weird? I think Tokyo Ghoul is probably the best vampire show.
When you say show, are you just talking about anime?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Like anime manga. I'll mash them together like that.
Possibly. I definitely feel like I've seen a couple other vampire anime, but yeah, I don't think I like them as much as Tokyo Ghoul.
Like, I mean, it's not really like vampires. People would be like, but vampires are... Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they have like some like demon
nice
qualities to them, but
it's a nice spin, you know?
yeah. Not every vampire story has to be like Dracula, you know? Yeah, I think that any 4 of these shows...
He's biting her neck. Ew.
Is this
Wait, that's a guy?
PG-13?
Ew.
Yeah, I think any 4 of these shows would be a nice pair to... Yeah, I think all of them are different enough from Dragon Prince that, you know, wouldn't run into anything there.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have a random... I'll roll a dice right now.
Okay, is that how we're gonna choose it?
I'll roll a dice, and whatever it lands on is what we'll pick.
Is there such thing as a 4-sided? Oh yeah, there is. It's like a pyramid, right?
Yeah. I have one, but I don't have mine on me because mine's downstairs.
I see.
So instead, I will just roll it on the computer. Roll D4. Okay, we got a 1, so it's gonna be Classroom of the Elite because it's the one on the list.
Cool. I haven't watched a battle royale thing in a while. I think the last
thing we did watch that was the Demon Hero, Demon King.
Misfit of a Demon King?
Yeah, that was probably the last one we watched.
That wasn't a battle royale.
It kind of was. Classroom battle royale.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of
How?
was. Well, it was pretty one-sided.
You are wrong. That's just a wrong statement. Because when I think of
Like-
battle royale, I think of like Future Diary.
Like, I mean, like, you're right. You're 100% correct, right? But, like, the entire point of the parody of, like, Misfit Demon King is that it was supposed to be premised on that. You know what I mean? Like, the entire premise of it is like, oh, yes, this is what the ordinary situation was. But this is the Demon King, so it's just a one-sided slaughter and everything he does.
Okay.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
I still disagree. I feel like it was
Like,
more a parody on like the reverse isekai genre.
It's also a parody on that, but it's also not really, because how can you get reverse isekai into your own world?
I mean, I feel like
It's a parody of a lot of stuff, though. It's a parody on, like, there's too much things it's going for.
I feel like you're a fool to think that
I enjoyed
that the definition of isekai still means anything.
Isekai just means, what, another world?
Yeah. I mean, like people have like gotten real loose with the definition of isekai lately because everything is an isekai nowadays. You know.
You know, my favorite isekai is Alice in Wonderland.
It's a good one. It's probably the best one, honestly.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, Classroom of the Elite. When you looking that up, do you know how many episodes it is? I mean, I know it's 12 or 13 because I didn't write anything down that wasn't 12 or 13.
I was gonna use my computer, but hold up, let me use my phone instead. Classroom of the Elite episodes. 12 episodes.
Awesome. Cool beans, dude. So yeah, Classroom of the Elite, Dragon Prince, watch those shows. Not next week.
Thank you,
but
Google. What?
Nothing.
Thank your overlords?
You don't thank them, they will remember. So with next season, Ray, I also made a list. I didn't send it to you because I made it like last night, so I didn't have time. But real quick, I do want to say, what do you think about ending To Your Eternity?
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I've already went through all of it. If you want, you can finish it on the side. I don't know how you feel about that, personally.
Yeah, you're thinking the same thing I was thinking.
Okay,
actually.
so you're probably gonna go finish on. I'll finish on the side as well with you.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, which is what I was thinking.
I'll
because
probably just wait for all of the episodes to come out, though.
Yeah. That's
I
what I
won't
figured.
watch all of it right now.
Okay, yeah, because I want to do that because like it's not like, I mean, if it was like Megalo Box tier, I would want us to continue watching it, but like
Mhm.
and it also frees up 2 slots for new stuff because that's always nice.
It makes it easier, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
So
20 episodes is kind of tough. Let's be honest.
yeah. I honestly, when I called that audible, I didn't know it was 20 episodes, or else I wouldn't have even switched it. So I got some stuff. First couple things on here though are things that are we're probably not gonna pick. The first is Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid season 2.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
Yeah, because it's a
It's
second
not
season of a
better anyway.
thing, so it's it's always weird to do that because then we have like prerequisites and But me and Ray,
It's never fun.
yeah, but like me and Ray are probably gonna watch it anyway. So
Yeah, you're gonna hit spoiler warned the entire time.
yeah. And then the other thing exciting this week, Wonder Egg OVA comes out, so I would recommend you
Spicy.
watch that. Everyone watches that because I'm gonna watch it.
We're all
That's gonna be a
watch
great
Wonder Egg.
time. Probably okay.
Wonder Egg really was, and we'll say it again, refreshing to watch.
If we would go back, and I don't really remember every single one because we've done quite a bit at this point. If we were to rank every seasonal show that we've covered, is Wonder Egg the best one that we've done?
Probably. If not, it's in the top 3. Guaranteed.
Because like Tower of God was pretty good, right?
Yeah, Tower God was pretty good. Even though, like, we'll preface it again, like, Tower God's like a 2-year eternity, where it's like something I've already dipped my toes into
Yeah.
extensively. Tower of God was still good. They did cut some stuff in Tower of God for the adaptation, but nothing that's too over the top that can't be explained in a season 2.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely excited for next season to see like what else they go into because they kind of set up a bunch of stuff at the end, and I'm wondering how far they actually go with it.
Tower of God, just to touch on that again, really is like a romantic adventure story like One Piece. You have
Okay.
like this end goal that's already predefined, and it's more of getting there.
I forgot.
And
what I
everyone
was
wants to
gonna
get there. Yeah. Like One Piece, everyone wants to get the One Piece, so everyone's like sailing on this on the sea. Tower of God, everyone wants to get to the top of the tower, so what's everyone doing? Everyone's trying to climb the tower.
This is what's everyone doing with it. They said the name of the show in the show.
Yeah, that's how it be though. I mean, like, I compared them a lot though.
So Ray, I recommend you pull up my anime list or something so that you can because I've already looked at each one of these shows. He has his phone. He says it. Kids nowadays always always dependent on their technology. So the first one I got.
Mal in Google, and the first thing that comes up is my anime list.
Ooh,
Or
you
it's
got it
Swedish
right
to
there.
English, actually. If you're not a weeb.
So, what I got, the first one I got for you, Ray, is The Detective is Already Dead.
The Detective.
And this is just a reminder for everyone. These are all anime that are coming out next season, and we're gonna pick 2 of them.
Yes. Nope, that's not it. Seasonal anime.
Yeah, I'm sure if you just go to next season. I mean, this should be in order of like popularity or whatever, because that's the way it's listed. So like.
Oh, is this the Tante Wamo? Is that what this one is?
Is it?
Yeah, Tante Wamo Shinderu.
Yeah, it has already
Omae Wamo Shinderu.
And another thing, Ray, because I didn't clear these with you first. If you've read one of these, you have to let me know.
Okay. I'll let you know. I have watched My Maid Dragon Kobayashi.
Okay. Well, yeah. I already knew that. Yeah.
Okay. No. You're clear right now. We're
Okay.
good.
Because again, we like doing stuff that isn't that me and Ray haven't watched or seen or read or whatever. It's just it's better
You'll
that
be
way.
making it better to have a clear mind, even though sometimes we do have the picks like Tower of God, and we touched on it again with To Your Eternity. Sometimes the seasons just
it just happens.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. Yeah, the Detective's Already Dead. Or do you have the page up right now, Ray? You want to give a little, just a little description of it?
Of course. Kimizuka Kimihiko is a crisis magnet. From getting caught up in a crime scene to accidentally witnessing a drug deal, trouble seems to find him around every corner. So it is no surprise when his rather mundane flight suddenly enters a state of emergency with the dire need of a detective on board. Unfortunately, his attempt at avoiding trouble is foiled by a beautiful girl with silver hair who goes by the codename Siesta. Declaring herself a detective, she unceremoniously drags Kimizuka into the case as her assistant. That incident spelled the beginning of an adventure around the globe that went beyond his wildest imagination. Putting their lives on the line, the two took down criminal organizations, prevented disasters, and saved thousands. But the curtain closed to their epic journey with Siesta's untimely death 3 years later. Resolving to live an ordinary high school life this time, Kimizuka spends a year maintaining a low profile. However, as fate would have it, a girl with an uncanny resemblance to Siesta comes crashing into his life, threatening to throw his peaceful days into disarray.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought that sounded cool.
Yeah.
Just an old detective dies, and she was like the assistant, and then somehow the old life catches up with her, and then like you said, adventure ensues. Next one. Okay, so the next one is probably just a personal pick for me. I don't think we should actually do it, but
Really?
just to make you aware of the show, it's called Girlfriend, Girlfriend, and what it reminded me of, it's basically a much smaller and tamer version of 100 Girlfriends that really like you or whatever. That's a manga.
You see, I have it pulled up right here.
Basically that. It's like
I see exactly what you're saying,
yeah, basically.
but you see, the thing is, like, 100 Girlfriends is already, like, really good.
It is good. It is good. It is really good.
It's like, I see it right here. This is crazy. And there's 4 girls.
yeah, it's like multiple
You
girls.
already
And
know.
they're just all his girlfriend, and it's like, all right, I guess.
Can't wait for 100 Girlfriends to come out. It's gonna be an actual peak.
It'll be amazing. The next one we got is the okay, all right. It's The Great, and then there's a name. Don't know how to say the name, but it's Jahy. Okay.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I've read it.
I kind of thought you would have, because yeah, this is based off of a fairly popular manga.
I will say I will be watching the anime.
Okay.
I will be watching it. I will also say, fun fact: the ending for the anime is being done by some Hololive VTuber members.
Okay.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like, it's their first anime ending that they've got actually hired to do. 3 of the members will be doing the ending there, and that's kind of neat. So it's a big step for VTubers in the future.
100%. Yeah. Okay. Next one is the Aquatope on White Sand.
See, this one could be interesting. This could be interesting. I've seen a little bit of this. Not like read it, but I've like read like the synopsis about this. I'm down for this one.
Yeah, it seems cool. This is the one where they're at like the like aquarium, or is that?
Yeah, I like me aquariums.
Aquariums are nice. They're very pretty, especially in animation. They can make them look very nice. But yeah, I think this is the one where they're at like it's like a whole ocean sea type thing, and like the one girl has dreams, but like she's not living up to them because I don't know, she's being oppressed by whatever, and then the other girl comes along and it's like, nah, you should believe in your dreams, and it's like that's a nice little story.
And at least the good thing here, I will say, like, this studio, you do know their works very well. The studio's done Angel Beats, they've done Another, they've done Charlotte, they've done that one show with the mermaids who live underwater. That's Shirobako.
Little Mermaid, yeah. Oh, Shirobako, that's nice. You still haven't seen Shirobako, have you?
I've seen it.
Oh, you have, okay.
Just not all of it.
All of it.
I've seen a good amount.
That's
No,
cool.
I forgot what the name of this show is in English. A Lull in the Sea.
A Lull in the Sea.
One with like yeah.
Yep.
Which is like, I thought it was a bit similar to Lull in the Sea when I first saw the picture, but then that was like, no, this is about aquariums, which is different. But
Very different.
Yeah, the studios they're nice.
Yeah, I mean everything you read off, those are pretty top notch.
Like the only thing we can complain about is Another, and that's not the studio's problem.
Next one that I thought looked kind of weird. Well, actually, when I watched the trailer for this one, I was like, this doesn't look. I don't know what the show's about, but then the description sounded kind of cool, and the art style is like kind of different too. It's Sunny Boy. SONNY.
Ah, yes, Sunny Boy. This one looked interesting as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind doing.
Looked kind of interesting. I don't. The description, I remember it was like there's a bunch of kids and it's from a school, but they're in like a weird like death game. I'm pretty sure it's like a battle royale type situation. Or like they're dropped somewhere. Oh, it might not be battle royale. It might just be they're dropped somewhere and they have to like survive. It's all about like survival, something like that.
I remember doing Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies was a time. That definitely happened. Just goes on to further push how much I do not care about classic literature. Yeah.
Apparently, the first episode was already aired on YouTube, so if you want to look at that, you can.
Yeah, it was. It already came out. A few more.
It is a madhouse, So
It was Madhouse. Yeah. So I got a few more. I got Peach Boy Riverside. Couldn't tell you what that's about. I have the title. Don't remember what this one is.
all right, what's my time again? Saltarine Aldyke, or Sari, is a bright, cheerful princess who wants to go on an adventure because she is bored of her tiny little castle in the countryside. One day, a horde of vicious demons known as Oni come knocking on her doorstep, threatening the lives of everyone in the kingdom. Thankfully, they're saved by a lone traveler named Kibitsu Mikoto, who slays these monsters with a mysterious peach eye. Shocked by the dangers of the outside world, Sari decides to set off on a journey of her own. Little did she know that she would set in motion a chain of events that will come to determine the fate of this magical world.
Yeah.
Yep, that's just me. I'm watching the PV right now.
Mm. I think the trailer is what got me excited because the synopsis sounds a little generic. But I think the trailer...
The animation looks really good.
Yeah, that might have been it where I was like, oh, this actually does look kind of good.
Yeah, it does sound generic on paper.
Yeah.
It is a light novel, I think. Is that light novel or is that manga? Manga. I haven't seen this before. So, but it is manga. Peach Boy Riverside.
Yeah. Next one I got is...
It has pretty good ratings on the manga, legitimately. Who's this author?
Yeah, I mean, I think... I think people... I mean, this is one that people are like...
Oh, this is the author who made Kobayashi.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me a little more excited for it.
Peach Boy Riverside.
So the next one I got is...
Oh, it's based on Momotaro, which is like the Peach story. Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that tracks.
Mm-hmm.
We got Moon-led Journey Across Another World. Moon-led? As if the moon is leading him,
Suki ga Michibiku Isekai Dochu.
Don't remember what this one is about. I think this is a reverse isekai, maybe something. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. The fantasy centers around Makoto Misumi, an ordinary high school boy, summoned to an alternate world as a brave warrior. Unfortunately, the goddess of this world said with disdain, "Your face is ugly," stripped him of his title, and banished him to the outermost fringes of the wilderness. While wandering the wilderness, Makoto encountered dragons, spiders, orcs, dwarves, and all sorts of other non-human species. Due to differences in this environment from his homeworld, Makoto now exhibits extraordinary powers in magic and combat. Thus, he survives in this world while dealing with various encounters. The curtain rises in an alternate world social reform fantasy of a boy forsaken by gods and humans.
This is another one that I think it sounds a little generic, but the trailer was pretty good, and I think that based off of people's hype levels from, I don't know, the manga, the light novel, or whatever, it actually is like a pretty good story. People are, excited to see it animated, I guess. So, we got that going. We got one, which I think this is the only one on here. It is a MAPPA show, and it is the E.10 Deities Only No Peace. And this was one, a bunch of fighting, a bunch of deities,
This is the one that's made by the guy who made the Reviewers show. Forgot what that one's called.
Interspecies Reviewers?
Yeah, Interspecies Reviewers, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the Amahara guy.
Okay.
He's the original creator, but the art style is the guy who did Kobayashi.
That makes sense. Art style is pretty good. Animation pretty good too.
So yeah, it's a combination of those two beautiful minds.
Okay.
With MAPPA, yeah.
Yeah, with MAPPA. So we got a couple more. One that was a Netflix show, I guess, which is pretty surprising. Words bubble up like soda pop. just a nice looking show. You know, just looks like a good time.
I mean, that one was also fun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is the one where it's like, I think there might be like, I don't know if there's any romance in it, but it is definitely like a lot of like friendship, relationship stuff. I think the one girl like is insecure about her teeth, so she always wears a mask, and then the other one likes writing poetry, but they don't think it's any good. But the girl likes it a lot, and so she like helps him with that. Really just a nice story. And then last one I got is Fina, Pirate Princess.
I'm looking.
And yeah, I think that one, I don't think the synopsis did anything for me, but then when I watched the trailer, like it looked like, oh, okay, this looks like they're going for it. You know what I mean? Like some of the action was pretty good. You know, the actual animation was good. Yeah. It is like some sort of like feudal Japan type energy as well.
What's the name of it again?
It's Fina, so it's Fena, Pirate Princess.
Really looking at Mal so hard. Just Google. No. Yes, Kaizoko Ojo.
Yeah.
Oh, this is called Pirate Princess. Okay,
Pirate
thank
Princess.
you.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I probably can find it. Okay, that's not bad. Orphan girl raised on a pirate. This one looks interesting as well.
People. You know, the thing that I thought was funny is that people were basically like, so it's like One Piece. It's basically One Piece. And that's also something that kind of put it in my head too.
I don't think it's One Piece. It's based on description.
It's like European One Piece. I think that's what someone said. And I was like, I mean, I guess. I mean, they're pirates, and they're like searching, and there's like a parental relationship type deal going on. But again, I've seen like the first like 50 episodes of One Piece or something, so I guess I can't really speak on it.
Yeah, I don't think it's One Piece, at least based on the description. It's similar, but it's like One Piece is an epic, right? They can still be romantic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, again, like One Piece, you know, it's its own deal. One Piece is in its own category, you know.
Again, like the One Piece to Tower of God, I'll make that comparison, which is odd. Free bond and search for a place where she can truly belong and the true mystery behind the word Eden. This looks interesting. Could be fun. But the British Empire.
Yeah.
British.
Yeah, right. So, with all of those in mind, are there any that stick out to you?
She's the main voice of Chihaya Furu, as well as she's Kurokami no Onna.
Oh, that's cool.
She's the main character from Death Parade as well. The voice actor for Fina.
The best show ever made.
As well as like from Chihaya Furu. I highly recommend Chihaya Furu. Both manga and anime.
Yeah, I know that anime is definitely on my list. I've heard of it before.
Also, she's Hori from Horimiya.
Oh, that's nice.
And Raftalia. And she's Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen.
She's been in a lot. She's been in a lot of notable things.
I'm trying to see anything else you may know. Going through. Officer Jenny in Sun and Moon, let's go.
Oh yeah, yeah, she was.
She's Mai in Bunny Girl.
Sure, okay.
Anything else here that you know off the top of your head? I don't know if you remember Tokyo Ghoul, but she's Akira Amado.
I couldn't picture it.
It's remember the old detective, his daughter.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like who takes over the part for him? Yeah. When he dies, yeah. Because that's not a spoiler. It's not. It's pretty. Yeah.
Everyone knew that.
Yeah, she's pretty stacked. Yeah. I don't know what else you seen here, but yeah, those are good enough to at least you know who you know. You know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind any of those. It's all good.
Are there any of them that you're like, yeah? Because it is a big list, you know. I did it was like 10 shows I think I put down.
Depends on how out there you want to get. Because like Sunny Days is like if you want to go heavy out there, you could go into Sunny Days. I don't know how grounded you want to be. We've done this enough where it's like more like whatever you feel for going forward, whatever you want the episodes to feel.
Okay.
Because like whatever you say, like you have to think about the choice if it's either mediocre or if it's bad or if it's good.
Yeah,
Because you'll.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that I'm like always afraid when we have to do this. We have to pick like seasonal stuff. It's like any of these could be good or any of these could be terrible. You know, then we're stuck with them.
Yeah, we could jump ship halfway. We've never done it before.
We could. Very bold move, but hey, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, we're running the show, Tyler. There's no mistakes.
Wait, hold on. You're trying to tell me for all this time.
I thought someone else was running the show.
Okay.
So, I mean, it depends what you want to pair, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would, because like, you know, part of me is also thinking about like Classroom Elite and Dragon Prince, right?
Like that covers like a good amount. Dragon Prince like covers like a nice fantasy element. Classroom Elite, you know, covers like your school element, your VR element. That's nice when you consider it. So go and touch Mal a bit, you know. What
was Sunny Boy about again?
Sunny Boy is like this weird. This is an out there show, you know what I mean? I'd say think Lord of the Flies, except with powers.
Okay.
With boys and girls, not just boys.
Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is like half of these shows I'm kind of cutting off in my mind because I think we have, like you said with Dragon Prince, we have that like adventure fantasy type thing already covered, and then with Classroom Elite we have, you know, it is school, but then it's also, I mean, we know it's gonna be action. It's gonna be more of like a shonen type deal.
I mean, personally, based on everything I'm seeing here, I'll let you know. I am down for. I'm looking at this list right now, and I'm really vibing with Aquatope. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Aquatope could end up becoming boring.
Yeah.
But like right now, that's a nice vibe.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of on, cause like I was saying, I think that like a lot of them towards the end of the list, like that like back half of the list, I think it's I guess other than words bubble up like soda pop, but like half that list is a lot of like action shonen-y stuff. I think we have that covered with our older shows, like that vibe. So like, you know, I'm going the other way of like Sunny Boy being a weird show, with Aquatope being more like slice of life drama maybe, you know, and then like girlfriend being that like romance comedy type thing that we got going on. I think those are probably the three that I'm on right now, just based off of the other ones, the other two that we already picked.
You got a nice thing like girlfriend, you know, it does hit a rom-com. We've done SNAFU, maybe we can jump onto that and redeem it for us. But we're gonna be, I know the entire time we're gonna be giving 100 girlfriends. It's gonna be inevitable. But 100 Girlfriends is different because it's also meta on it, where it
It is
turns it up
very
to
meta.
11 on purpose. Like everything is pushed to the max for like the reasons why the characters do stuff. Like all the characters are tropes themselves.
The only reason I'd be afraid to pick girlfriend is because I don't know how, like, I feel like that has been somewhat of an issue with most of the rom-coms that we've covered on here, is like, how is it going to be interesting and not just be like every other rom-com that we've done?
You know, imagine that Rent a Girlfriend actually was the most interesting.
Rent a Girlfriend was pretty good.
I was gonna say Sing Yesterday for me, but then I remember that most of Sing Yesterday was interesting because we made it interesting.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I definitely like that show, but yeah, I think it was built up a little bit because of our lore.
Our ambition really grows that for us, you know? I don't think Sing Yesterday for me would have been good if I watched it by myself. I think Sing Yesterday for me is enhanced because of the experience of having it being shared with you. We just banter over the show. That's what we did, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked. It definitely worked.
And I know if like we get like another like rom-com, it has to be something that obviously like, we haven't read.
Of course, yeah.
Which is the tough part because like you know like we could have done Hori Mia right when it dropped, but we've already
watched
done
it, or
it,
we've already read it. Yeah, we've already.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with Kaguya. You know, like Kaguya, we could have picked Kaguya, but it's again something that we've already dug into enough where it's like, at least with me, like you know, I've like read it, and then you're you know.
I was watching it. Well, I mean, we did talk about season 2 when I watched it.
Yeah, but it's not something like you know we'll have as like a weekly thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more like we'll have it there because we know we'll talk about it anyway.
Can you go back to the Aquatope show? I just want to know, just like, tell me what genres it's listed under.
Just slice of life.
It's just slice of life?
It's just life with slice.
What kind of toppings are on that slice?
Tomatoes.
Gross.
Yeah, it's literally just slice of life.
Because I'm kind of settling into that in my mind. Where like, yeah, we can do Aquatope. That was towards the top of my list when I was coming in today. Because I don't know if you watched the trailer when you were just going through it earlier.
The trailer looks nice, dude.
But the trailer, I was watching it and I was like, yo, this.
It looks nice. You know,
this might be insane.
Really beautiful. The way the shots are done. If the story is engaging as well, I'll be all for it. It does seem like it's more of a metaphorical show as well, like a story of growth. So.
And then part of me wants to do Sunny Boy. Did you watch the trailer for that when you were doing that as well?
The Sunny Boy.
Because Sunny Boy trailer's
like
not
it's
good.
like,
in my opinion,
trailer's like,
I don't like the trailer.
It looks pretty artsy. I think that's the best way to put it, right? Like Sunny Boy looked like it's an artsy show.
And like,
you know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think my other problem with the trailer though is that the trailer doesn't match what the synopsis is. It's just like random, like, it's like it's a trailer for a different show.
It's like an opening, right?
It's
one of those garbage trailers. Let me hit you with this, right? It's both beautiful and garbage. Because it shows you nothing, which you kind of want. You want nothing. But it doesn't show you anything at all. Right? That's what I get from the Sunny Boy trailer. It's like, I want it to at least show me a little something. A little sauce. A little magic, please. To make me want to come in it. But it's just a bunch of quick clips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just mashed. It is an anime only, so we can't even know like what else is happening. You know what I mean?
just. I'm just gonna say let's do.
Okay, I remember like our gambling, dude. This is what it is. This is our gambling. We're gambling on what shows are gonna be bad or good when we do this. We could have picked Vivi last season, dude. We could have picked Vivi.
Yeah.
What was the season before that when we could have picked?
Wasn't like Decadence or something?
It was Decadence, dude. We could have
Decadence.
picked Decadence. It's always like that, you know. It's the gamble, though. Like how safe you want to play it, because you don't want it to be like a bad pick and then have it like drudge throughout the entire thing. But that's a rule that we came up with. I just brought up that we can change it.
I'm just gonna say let's do. I don't know, dude, because like in my mind I just want to say something, because then we do have like, I mean, like we still have next week that we can always change it, you know what I mean? And then like you said,
Yeah.
we can do whatever we want, right? Like 3 episodes
Okay,
in,
how about this? We watch the first episode, okay, of Sunny Boy.
Okay.
We'll add that on as like
Okay.
something we watch for this week, because it's already out. We'll watch the first episode of Sunny Boy if we can find it subbed. I don't know if that's possible. If it was only shown in Japan. If we can find it, let me just look it up right now. If I can find it.
Just do it. just
Right now, find it. If I can find Sunny Boy, right?
Because so while Ray's looking that up, I just want to say, because like what I'm trying to articulate is that there's a lot of these shows that look like they could be cool, but they are like, it's like an isekai, or it is, you know, they do look kind of generic. Even like Pirate Princess has a cool setup, but it's like, I thought that Joran, Blood Princess, whatever, was gonna look cool from last season, and then as the episodes went on, people were just like, this show's terrible, you know? So it's like, there's a lot of shows on here that seem kind of generic, but it could go either way, so I'm afraid to add them. And then like I said, we do have Classroom of the Elite and Dragon Prince, which kind of cover a lot of these genres that is on this list, which is why something like Aquatope, that's a pure slice of life, I think that would be, you know, the nice dichotomy, right? And then part of me wants for us to do Girlfriend, because we don't have like a rom-com, but it's like, how good is that actually going to be, you know? And then with Sunny Boy, it's the same thing where we just talked about, where it's like, is it going to be too weird? Is it going to be something that we come in every week and say, I don't really get it, this is kind of boring?
Okay. So let me hear this, right? So Sunny Boy, think of, because I was trying to figure out what type of vibes I'm getting from this show, based on like everything I was seeing. You can watch it online, by the way. You may have to search and scour.
Sure.
I'm gonna send you a link. Okay. Sunny Boy is, think of like Satoshi Kon. I know you know that. This is the guy who came up with Paprika.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay, yep.
Mash with Lord of the Flies.
Okay.
Now that's Sunny Boy.
Okay.
That's the best comparison I can give you.
I think you
Why don't we give the first episode a watch?
Yeah.
And see how deep you want to go into this, because it's gonna be like a more meta artistic show. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Are you saying that we watch it like this week and then we decide if we're gonna keep it next week?
Yeah. We decide if we want to keep it this next week. We can watch it this week, and we can decide if we want to keep it or not. Because this is another episode. It's not that much. It's already out.
Yeah. Okay. I am down with that.
It's a safe idea, you know. And I've already found a link here, so I'm just gonna use this one. It's hard to find legitimate links. I don't know if they have it on like a Funimation website or something like that.
I mean, no, we watch everything legally on this podcast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, buy all our licenses. Prime.
I actually bought the Blu-rays for SNAFU. Regretting that decision.
Oh no, you can't return those.
Oh no.
They got you. Yeah, I say we give it a watch, right? If it's good, you know, we like keep it. You know, maybe not. We can put girlfriend on there, and we can. If girlfriend's bad, we can always make fun of it. It's nice. It's brought back
And
there.
honestly, the way we actually have a lot of time to think about this, because next week we're still finishing up our existing stuff, right? And the following week we'll start the old stuff. So we'll do Dragon Prince, and then we'll do Gaslighting Me. So we really have like 2.5 more weeks to really decide.
Make a decision. Yeah.
You know, and by then, 1, maybe even 2 episodes will be out for most of these shows. So then we can kind of, you know, we got like that thermometer out there, kind of feeling what it's like, you know, for all this stuff. So yeah, I guess right now, as it stands, we'll do the Aquatope on White Sand and Sunny Boy. And yeah, we will watch the first episode of Sunny Boy, and then we'll come in next time and be like, that's kind of what our vibe check is on this show, you know.
It's a nice thing, at least with Sunny Boy. A good thing that it dropped in episode 1 early, you know, because it is a weirder show. I think Satoshi Kon's a great thing. I was, because I was like, what, this art style looks like, you know, sort of familiar. It's definitely his type of art style, and like with the type of element of having like the supernatural part, that's also something he would do in Mashup Lord of the Flies. That's kind of the best description.
Okay.
I think that nails it right there.
So yeah, that the stressful part's over. Hate picking new shows. There's so many. We still have like a ton of stuff to talk about.
A couple things, right? Yeah.
We still have a number of things. So let's just get
17.
Through. Let's pivot away from anime for a second, and let's go to Loki.
Okay.
Loki episodes, man. Oh man. Okay.
Episode 2 and 3.
2 and 3. So good episodes. Okay. First episode, we'll stay there for a second. That was the one where they were searching, right? Loki and Owen Wilson, going through it, and I'm trying to figure out what this variant Loki's doing.
You found her.
Wow. Do you know? I was gonna send something to you, but I didn't. The director of Loki came out and was like, "Yeah, Owen Wilson doesn't say wow in the show, so stop looking for it." Like we didn't have him say it.
I thought it was a part of his contract. You know, like it's contractually obligated to say wow once.
You have to say it at least once. You have to drop it somewhere.
Oh, it's okay. That's only on season 2 for it. Wow, he's gonna say wow in every episode of season 2. You see, that's it's like you have to hold back from saying it on this season, so in the next season of Loki, you can say it every episode. Oh, yes.
We like start a new campaign that's like release the wow cut.
Release the wow cut. Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because it seemed like more like character growth for Loki, where it seemed like he legitimately was helping, and like it was kind of nice. You know, he kind of looked like a like child who was figuring something out, and then like showing it to their parent and being like, no, I did this. Like, I figured out where the Loki variant's hiding. He's in natural disasters, and you know, all that stuff.
Like, episode 3 was like the biggest. I'm not gonna talk about episode 3 right now. We're on episode 2 right now. I'm gonna hold off on that. Episode 2 is pretty hype. Yeah, he's like, dude, you can do anything in a natural disaster, and it doesn't matter because guess what? The timeline's gonna screw it up anyway.
Yeah, well, because everyone dies here anyway, so there's no one to cause a change, you know.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. I mean, you know, they kind of teased Ragnarok, and I was like, ooh, are they really gonna go to Asgard? And you know, because Ragnarok was the whatever. And then there was just some nice moments with you know, them like talking about fate and everything. I know we've talked about that before, of how that's like a big theme, you know, free will and all that, and we did get into that with Mobius, and you know, because Mobius is like, or like there's a whole conversation about like religion, right? Because he was like, well, what do you believe in? And Loki was like, oh, well, we're gods, and then we're birthed from this. And it was like, how's that any different than you saying that the timekeepers made you? You know, it's the same thing. Yeah, that was some deep stuff that they got into that they didn't really have to. Yeah, and then we do finally. So, how'd you like the reveal of who the Loki variant is, and like what their kind of deal is at the end of episode 2?
Yeah, you know, like they're like, I just gotta go meet them. Timekeepers go menacingly, and I'll walk through this portal, and I'm a girl. Psych. Now, I did see theories in episode 1 were dropped that saying, Fem Loki,
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. So they were right. Because they're like, why keep it hooded? Why keep it secret? It was just gonna be Tom Hiddleston.
That's
again.
fair.
No.
What did she this was something I was a little confused about as well, like when they dropped all those like grenades or whatever through the portals, like did those just go to like random spots in time? Is it, is that like the plan? To like cause like splits in the timeline? Is that what she was doing? She was causing
I
chaos?
think it's like it's supposed to like you set those charges and then you're able to go through the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you set the charges like to like make sure like it's resetting the timeline back to where it was before you leave. So like she's like clearing the evidence that she was actually there in the supermarket.
Okay.
With the charges.
Yeah, and then we just get into episode 3.
As well as the chance of like, whoever's left there in like the supermarket, any like agents from TVA, they're all gonna be gone as well if they're stuck there.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that did cause
cleaning house with that.
some chaos in there too, because there's not supposed to be that many charges set off at one time, and that did let it so a bunch of the TVA agents were dispatched, and that kind of led into episode 3, where most of the TVA was empty because they were all scrambling to kind of fix everything that the female Loki kind of messed up, so I gave her a good opportunity. But yeah, and then like you said with episode 3, I think that was a more kind of exciting episode. There's a lot more action. What do you think of episode 3?
Episode 3 was pretty good. I liked the cinematography in episode 3, the shots that they were doing, the scale of what they were working with. It felt nice. Episode 3 felt really good, honestly. Refreshing almost.
Yeah,
like, episode 2 was good, but episode 3 felt great.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was fresh. I think that that's true because we went to like another planet, right? So a nice new atmosphere. And it was, I think another reason it felt different is because we didn't really have Mobius. So we didn't have that Mobius and Loki relationship that we've grown in the first 2 episodes. We did.
Yeah, you just get Loki, being Loki.
We did, we got Loki and like Sylvie, right? So they kind of built that. And I thought that was really interesting too, where they're both Loki technically, right? But they're different versions of Loki. So especially when they were on the train and Sylvie wanted to know about Loki's mom because like to her, she didn't really know her mom. So I was like, oh, what was she like? Because I never knew my mom, but your mom is my mom, so it was kind of interesting them going back and like learning about each other because they're both like the same person but from different realities basically. Thought that was really cool.
It's great because it builds Sylvie and it also like gets Loki to flex himself a bit.
It does.
Because he hasn't been doing Loki things for 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's been stuck at TVA, and at TVA like none of your powers work. So when he was here, he's like, oh, there's fireworks and I can shift in, or I can mask myself to look like one of the agents here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a cool scene there where he was drinking and singing, which kind of was like a throwback to Asgard, right? Because that's what everyone does there. It's like, oh, this is Loki. you kind of forget about where he came from because we just know him as Loki.
Yeah, it's nice. Felt great. I will say episode 3 kind of poses a question in my mind, which I feel like they'll answer. If all people who are in the TVA are actually just variants.
Well, yeah, because they said that in episode 3. It was Sylvie revealed that because she went into the mind of one of the TVA agents, that like female TVA agent. And then that was how the episode like cold opened, where it was her talking to the other lady in the bar.
Yeah, and getting them to the timekeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she kind of revealed that, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I had to reach back into one of her memories from before she was in the TVA," and Loki was all confused because Mobius said that, well the timekeepers created all of us, created all the TVA agents, and then so with this knowledge, it's like, oh no, none of these people were created, we were all variants, that's what it was. Like, well, she was a variant, she was just like us. And that like kind of like blew Loki's mind because none of them know that, So like Mobius essentially was a variant, but he doesn't know that he was a variant.
And then like like he wants to like have like one of those water jet skis.
That's his dream.
But like he probably already had one.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's probably built into his personality. And, it's that's probably why he wants one so bad, because he doesn't realize that he already had one.
And it was so much fun, dude. It's crazy. Like the TVA, I guess like the TVA is not lying when they say no, the timekeepers created us. Yeah, they essentially did. They like hold your memories back and made you who you are. You still have some sense of individuality with you, but you don't know who you are.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how close we get to that, because it does seem like Loki and Sylvie, their goal is to go get the timekeepers. I don't know if they plan to like kill them or they need answers about some stuff. But I want to know how like far they go with it, because timekeepers seem to be like the all-powerful being. like.
And then
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say people have theory with King the Conqueror being one of the timekeepers.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Isn't Kang also announced as he is the villain in one of the Marvel movies upcoming? I don't remember which one. But yeah, I do.
He'll be in Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's what it is. Yep. So yeah, I mean.
Which again is another movie based on like time travel in the quantum realm.
Yeah. Which is funny because I saw a comparison the other day that was, in the TVA, Mobius said that time works differently in the TVA, and then when you go back to Endgame, Paul Rudd is like, time moves differently in the quantum realm. So people were making comparisons to that of like, is the TVA not necessarily like in the quantum realm, but like, is there some association there, And then with King the Conqueror rumors and him being revealed for the new Ant-Man movie, that just kind of strengthens the ties between some sort of connection to that idea. Yeah, man, how do you think they're gonna get out of this? Because the ending, world blowing up, the moon just hitting the planet they're on, and the train or whatever that's supposed to take them off that got destroyed. How do you think they're gonna get out of this? Because they don't really have a way currently. With the telepad got destroyed.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we will. I mean, we know we don't die. Because we got 3 more episodes. And another season, actually. Right? There's another season coming out. Yeah, I think it's good. I think this is still probably my favorite MCU show so far.
It feels nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Highly enjoying it. It's always nice to see Tom Hiddleston.
It is always nice. That is always a nice thing. Yeah, man. Let's go to our other thing. We did the Spongebob tournament, or we started it, right?
Let's go.
So we're doing season 2. Anyone who doesn't know, season 2 of SpongeBob, right? Picked 16 episodes, put them in a little college basketball tournament action, and yeah, we're gonna see what the best one, or our personal opinion, right, of what the best one is. So we did a couple rounds, and let me just get to the actual thing. Where is it? So first up, right, we got Dying for Pie versus Imitation Crabs. Both food-related titles. That was on purpose, if you choose to believe so. So first, before we say which one is better, would you think of both these episodes, right?
Yeah, let me hear this. Okay, so I did. Have you also done the entire left side?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So got my list here.
Nice,
Can't look
nice,
at it.
nice.
This is what I was holding when I was searching my things when I was not gaslighting it.
I see.
Anyway. Okay. So we got Dying for Pie and Mermaid Man Barnacle Boy 3. Is that correct?
That is not the way it's set up.
The text message real quick.
What did you go off of? I sent you the actual image of the...
Oh, it was a... Okay. It was... Forgive me.
It's all good, right?
Dying for Pie and Imitation Crabs.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So, Dying for Pie versus Imitation Crabs. I personally, I'm still a Dying for Pie guy. I watched Imitation Crabs. I remember the episode. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, at least compared to Dying for Pie. Dying for Pie, the entire setup, it's a bomb.
It's pretty funny.
It's something that it could never air today.
Sure.
Imitation Crabs is good. It's decent, but it's like it falls into that one where it's like I think there's better Plankton episodes. Like I think Welcome to the Chum Bucket is a better Plankton episode, and it is one that we're also going to be talking about.
Okay. I would say on this one, making it pretty easy, I think I do agree with you that I like Dying for Pie a little bit more. Obviously the setup for the bomb thing is very funny. We do get some emotional stuff in there with, SpongeBob really caring about Squidward, and then we have...
Squidward actually cares about SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, where he kind of plays
like he doesn't
it
want
off.
him to die, He's like, he may be my coworker, I may not like him, but I don't want to cause his death.
Yeah.
I'd rather he come into work every day and we have some banter.
Yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth. And then we get the nice moments with, maybe a lot of it is fueled by guilt, but, he does go with him and finish that whole list, which is probably a very hard thing for him to do. Where with Imitation Crabs, I very much do like the episode, I think Plankton coming in and having a fake Mr. Krabs, tricking SpongeBob, which SpongeBob's pretty gullible, so it's not that hard.
He's like Squidward being like, well, of course this is Mr. Krabs. I'll just take the day off.
Yes. And then even that end little part, which I like, which is like SpongeBob's quizzing them, and like Mr. Krabs just gets every question wrong.
The penny is a nice brick joke that just comes back at the end.
It is. Yep. That was set up very early in the episode. But yeah, I do think I like Dying for Pie more just because I think Imitation Crabs, there's a couple moments in the episode where it gets a little stale, where it's like, oh, we're still kind of doing this, whereas Dying for Pie...
like going back and forth between like Crabs and Plankton.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
kind of goes through that like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Dying for Pie, at least with the gag with the list, is kind of funny. He's like the salmon suit, and he's like, that's a good one, Squid. I'm in a salmon suit. Good one, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you're gonna wear a salmon suit, and he's like, that's a good one.
And then open heart surgery also being on the list.
Which is crazy that, like, you're talking about how the bomb thing would never play on TV. I don't know how they got a beating heart, squirting blood.
To be fair, like SpongeBob has done like hearts. They've done brains a lot.
They have.
Like, brains have been done so often in SpongeBob, it's kind of ridiculous.
But that one was easy. That one was easy for us. I'm glad that we agreed on that because that makes it easy. So the next one, we got Survival the Idiots And then we got that Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3.
Okay. Now, I may be slightly biased here, but I'm a big fan of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3.
Okay, why is that? What's so great about that one?
One, it is the introduction of Man Ray, one of the greatest characters to come back in any of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes.
Okay.
Both these episodes are pretty well memed. Like I'm Dirty Dan and you got Pinhead Larry. Both relevant, and then in this one, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, you have the relevant "This Isn't Mine."
Yeah, that's not my wallet.
It's not my wallet. Yeah, these are classic ones here. That you do see, and I think like Survival of the Idiots, it plays too much on the fact of like SpongeBob and Patrick being dumb, really. Or at least in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, they're not really dumb, they're more gullible.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that in Survival of the Idiots, they do make more like bonehead decisions. I mean, even like the setup of the episode with Patrick being like, "Oh yeah, let's just go in," and SpongeBob was like, "I don't think we should. I think like she specifically said for us to not go into her tree dome right now." You know, I was like, that was it's kind of a weak setup in my opinion, but yeah. And then I don't think there's too much variety to the episode. I think that was my issue with Imitation Crabs too, where they're just kind of in the snow for a while. It's really cold. They take the fur, and then, you know, I mean, really the good stuff is towards the end, right? Where you mentioned the memes, right? And then, remember, Barnacle Boy does have the great sequences of them trying to teach him how to be good, which is just, you know, each one's better than the last.
And then, like, you have, like, malicious Patrick.
Yeah. Just a savage.
He's like, think I'm number 2, 1 in 100. Guess what it is? Wrong.
Wrong, yeah. You get him with the feather thing. And then even the nice little conclusion there where Man Ray tries to steal from the bank, eventually can't do it, and then he just opens up a checking account.
Yeah, he's been conditioned where he can only laugh instead of do evil things.
Yeah. And even with like the like orb of confusion, it's such a stupid bit. The head, yeah. I won't be needing this anymore.
The orb of confusion's funny because like even at the end, Patrick's like still wonking out. It's just him.
Yeah. He's like, Pat, the orb isn't on anymore.
The orb of confusion, the emanating orb aura is so good.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you need an invisible license for the invisible boat.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that was good. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah. So, I take Mermaid and Barnacle Boy to the top with that one.
Yeah. I think I agree with that as well. And I think we should just go down and then we can do
the finals,
like the finals after that. Because the next we got Pressure versus Shanghai.
Now, what Shanghai did you watch?
Are there 2 of them?
Okay, so like, there's like, did you watch just the one? How long was your episode? Because like, there's like the Shanghai with like all 3 endings.
I'm not aware of that. What do you mean 3 endings?
Okay, so like when Shanghai originally aired, like when you watched it, it was a call-in episode. So you had to call in, right? And they had 3 endings planned for the episode for Shanghai.
Okay.
And in the one I watched, they showed the 2 other endings, and then you get the last ending, which is the canon one. Which you're the one who saw the canon one, and it's cool. But when you were watching it live, it was a call-in, and then you had to vote for the ending.
I see. Okay. So what were the other 2 endings?
Okay, so like you watched the one where SpongeBob gets the wish in the end. The other 2 were when Patrick and Squidward got the wish, the last wish.
Okay.
So Patrick's last wish, I believe. So it was something stupid. Obviously, because it's Patrick. I don't remember. I remember Squidward. Squidward's wish was he wished that he never knew SpongeBob and Patrick.
Okay.
And they all 3 got eaten by the Flying Dutchman anyway. where it's like, oh hi, like Squidward, you don't know me, that this is me. I'm SpongeBob, it's my friend Patrick, nice to meet you, sort of ending.
Okay.
It's a nice gag there, you know. Patrick's ending, I gotta find it now.
Okay, so yeah, while Ray's looking that up, yeah, I'm not really sure this is one that I definitely want to talk about because, you know, to me this isn't as easy. I think Shanghai, I guess. Shanghai, I think was one of my picks when we started this, of one of the ones that I think might go all the way, just because I remember it very fondly. You know, there was introduction of the Flying Dutchman, right? Oh no, I think we did see him before this, but we see a lot of him in this one, and I thought that was cool. Them dropping the anchor in the house in the beginning was funny. You know, them going up there and, you know, with Squidward being thrown out, that was funny. Him like falling for the entire episode and then coming back in the end. And then them being in the brig for there. And then a classic scene with them having to go through the perfume department. That never gets old. Then them stealing the sock, going towards the end. And then having the wishes, right? With Patrick wishing we knew that earlier. Clock ticks back a minute. It was a dumb wish. SpongeBob bringing Squidward's demise, wishing that Squidward was here, brings him back.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, with the ending, the canon ending apparently, which is SpongeBob trying to think outside of the box, wishing that Dutchman was a vegetarian, so that he doesn't eat them, and then the Dutchman just turns him into fruit. It's
yeah. Patrick's ending was that he wished for gum. So he's like, if they're gonna be stuck there a long time, we might as well have fresh breath. And then the Dutchman eats them anyway, saying minty.
See that? I feel like I remember that. I feel like I remember that ending. The Squidward ending, I have no recollection of, but I feel like I remember that.
One, like, you know, he's like, I wish I never met these two before, you know. And then like Dutchman's like, wish granted. And then he's like, I didn't mean, like, you know, them not to remember. I wish I'd never been here. He's like, I know what you meant, but I got it.
I'm a genie. You know. And then with Pressured was pretty cool because, you know, it was SpongeBob and Sandy fighting. Who's better? They have the two little races, which is always nice because the races end up the same exact way. They're just opposite. And then we have the nice little land versus sea. Some jokes there, and then we have the end, which is amazing, of them actually doing like the live action puppet thing. So yeah, I mean, I think both episodes are pretty solid.
Yeah. I will say I went Shanghai.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
I think it's partially because I did watch like the special episode, which was like the original with all three endings.
Mm-hmm.
Like it showed like the vote-ins, and it had Patchy as well.
Patchy, a great addition to any episode.
So like, cause like I'm assuming, cause like, you know, you just watched the one, it was just like the cartoon raw. That was it, you know, just like straight, no cuts or edits or anything. It just felt like it flowed.
Well, no, I saw 2 or 3 interstitials with Patchy in it, cause Patchy was in the actual episode.
Okay, for Shanghai, right?
Like that bit. I think the whole like call-in stuff at the end, I think that was the only bit that's not like in the official episode.
Yeah. Cause like with Shanghai, yeah, it's like with the call-in stuff, and like it shows you the alternate endings there, which I think is a nice little peek, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice them do like a call-in type of vote, see what you get. Because like I guess that was a time when people like really were getting hyped into call-ins and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They do call-ins for like manga and anime, and see like they'd end or whatnot. Like if a character dies, like what would you do? Like vote which character dies with this poll, you know. That was something that was kind of big. So I kind of like that aspect. Shanghai also has like the Little Lee and the perfume section, which I feel like they're really iconic moments, which still like hold up, ironically.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, Dutchman also saying like, you know, like these are my dorks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
So those guys are dorks. I said no, but they're my dorks.
you know, it's like, you know, it's nice, you know, it's like, oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm assuming
mean,
you were a pressure boy.
no, I would honestly think, I mean, I think so far, again, with Shanghai being one of my picks in the beginning for what I think would go all the way, I think it's still there for me. I think, again, variety is like a big thing for me when it comes to these episodes, and I think Shanghai had that more. You know, you even reminded me of stuff like, yeah, the whole like Lee to Lee thing, and the whole like you're good, like that, like that's a classic
Yeah.
moment. And with pressure, I think it's very nice. I think there's a lot of funny moments, but I think it gets special on like the second half of the episode, where the first half is nice with the competition stuff, but the second half is where it's like, okay, now this is like an iconic SpongeBob episode. So I think that it takes a little bit to get there, whereas with Shanghai, I don't think there's like a dull moment in the entire episode.
Like, heck, I mean, even like dropping Squidward into the fly is like one of the greatest, like, weird moments of SpongeBob.
Yeah, because it's like kind of spooky, right? Where you open it and it's like the weird, like psychedelic, almost like horror. There's even like some like scary music that plays. It's like, oh man, I'm not a big fan of Squidward, but maybe don't throw him in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Like, you know, just when he lands back, he's swooped back in.
Yeah,
He can't really escape.
in that moment he was like, I can just end it all right now. I don't need this.
I wish for a gun.
You talk about those alternate endings. If Squidward's wish was a gun, this would be number one. We wouldn't even do the rest of the tournament. We wouldn't need it.
Give it to me, Dutchman. Give me the gun.
And the Dutchman starts sweating of like, I don't think I can. I don't think I should.
I need the AR-15 stat.
You don't need a license anymore. Yeah, I think we're 3 for 3 so far on no arguments.
Okay.
We'll see how far that lasts.
Leaves welcome to the Chum Bucket and
Frankendoodle, yeah. Wasn't Frankendoodle one of your, or was that one of mine? I don't remember.
It's an iconic one. I said Dime for Pie and Frankendoodle. You know, I know. I forgot Shanghai, but after watching it, I was like, yeah, this is definitely an iconic one that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I went Frankendoodle on this one. Now, I thought Chum Bucket was good. Like, it had some good moments, but like, it's kind of playing into SpongeBob in a weird way that, you know, doesn't really go with the character, I guess, for most episodes, where he's seen as like lazy and like not wanting to do anything, and be like coddled and pampered, you know, by Plankton. But like, you know, when like Mr. Krabs asks for him, he just goes and immediately does it, and it's odd because he should be more scared of Plankton. But I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird spit because, like, you know, there's good stuff in the episode here. You get the I don't really feel like it. You get the nice like musical like number with like him and Mr. Krabs, which is also like known, and it has the cloud meme where like they're reaching out for each other.
Yeah.
It's also well. But I mean, it doesn't really. It feels stale after a point. You know what I mean? It's like okay. Because there's not really much going on in the episode.
So what do you like so much about Frankendoodle?
Frankendoodle is a wild ride from start to finish. It's like you start with the story, the artist, you know, in the boat, dropping the pencil. They get the pencil, they play around with it, they create Frankendoodle. Nimoy is a big thing. Realize he's a monster, you gotta take him out. Didn't kill him, comes back with a vengeance. And then you get him back and you turn the pencil, and then artist is like, damn, I wish I brought a sharpener. Real one, G. Made a lot of mistakes on that boat.
Which, fun fact that I'm only 50% sure is true. I'm pretty sure that is Steven Hillenburg.
Okay.
Which is the creator of the show, if anyone didn't know.
That's fine.
which is cool. So yeah, so for me, I'm kind of like evenly split on this one because I do like Frankendoodle. Obviously, I think this is another classic. I think all these episodes, for the most part, are classic episodes. You know, I was Frankendoodle drawing them coming to life. You know, I always like that too because, you know, I like to draw. So them, you know, whenever cartoons would do that, where they would mess with like the fact that this is a cartoon,
Mhm.
and so we can draw stuff because their reality is drawn already.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Was always a really cool concept to me. I
Yeah.
know they did it in like Looney Tunes before. There was a whole episode where Daffy was drawn and he was just on like a
Playing
blank
with the
page.
animator, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like that was like fourth wall breaking, which was like blew my mind as a child. Like, wait, you can actually make an episode like this, you know? Like this shouldn't work, you know? So yeah, so that's why this episode was always really cool for that. And the ending was very satisfying with them stamping they're like clapping the book around them, which was really cool. And then yeah, with the funny bit of the artist breaking the pencil, and it's like, you should have brought another pencil. You only bring one pencil for. What are you doing? Or at least one of those like little hand sharpener things, you know.
Yeah.
And with Welcome to Chum Bucket, I honestly think that for the most part, I like that episode more. You know, I think it was very bold of them to do a song, which they usually never do, or at least up until this point in SpongeBob. I know usually nowadays the 1 or 2 episodes a season will have a song. But I thought this one was really good. I liked Mr. Krabs. I don't know who sung it, if it was actually the Mr. Krabs voice actor, if it was someone else, but they kind of went more of like a blues route with their delivery, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the whole like Mr. Krabs plays to his character, him being cheap and him being arrogant when it comes to Plankton, right? So he loses SpongeBob because of that. And then Plankton finally winning, quote unquote, but Plankton is, you know, as smart as he is and as resourceful as he is, he just never wins, you know, so he can't quite get there, even when he has the fry cook. But yeah, I think the reason why I might agree with you on making Frankendoodle go to the next round is because that, you know, the same gripe that you had is the same one that I had, where I don't like that they made SpongeBob lazy, because you're right, I don't think that's his character. I think that in the beginning it was fine because he was a little afraid of Plankton. He was uncomfortable in that that environment, right? But then towards the end, like, yeah, he was being pampered. We had a montage of him getting whatever he wanted. But then, yeah, for him to be lazy and for him to be like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like, it's not like he still has to be afraid of Plankton in that moment, but we've never seen SpongeBob to be anything other than like helpful and like, oh yeah, we'll do it. Like, even like, you know, he is a kid essentially, so whenever an adult speaks, even Squidward, right, who is probably canonically older than him, I would imagine, even when Squidward speaks, you know, SpongeBob listens and he's like, oh, is that true? You're giving me knowledge? So it's weird for him to go against Plankton with everything that we know about both characters and him just be like, no, I'm not doing that. You can do it yourself. That's weird.
Like, even like, you know, if he was like pampered all that time, he still could have been like, well, you know, maybe I have to have you do this for me and that. You know, maybe you could try to weasel out of it. But like, just didn't be right. It didn't feel well. He's just like, nah.
And like, he's never really acted like that before. Like, he was given so much stuff, and we've never known SpongeBob to be selfish either. To be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna take more. I'm not gonna give anything. Like, we've always wanted to be like helping out whenever he can, or reciprocating, or, you know. And in that moment, he wasn't, and that was weird. I didn't very much like that. So yeah, I think just that dips the episode low enough for me that I'm fine with Frankendoodle moving on to the next round. But then we do have, because the way we did it, we essentially we can pick the winner for go all the way to the finals.
For this line.
So we go back to the top. We got Dying for Pie and Merman Barnacle Boy 3.
be honest here. Put Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is really close. Because I think both of these episodes excel in the same thing. You know, like they both have a ton of different really good bits. They both have a lot of variety, going to a lot of different places.
And it all leads up to like this one big joke towards the end.
Yeah, it all comes together in the end, right? With like the one big payoff.
Like they're both good episodes for different reasons. Reason I went for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. Even though like we'll have Dying for Pie with like good moments, like the sweaters, bomb pie, the list, going to the brick wall, Squidward, really getting upset, like the idea of him not dying. That's kind of what it builds for. Barnacle Boy goes, and it's like they're like fans, they're like house sitting, find him there, teach him a bit, they're like falling for like, oh, I want to be so good, let me be good. And then Patrick's an idiot, so he's like, nah, can't be good.
I think for me so far that this is the closest one we've done.
This is really close.
But I think there's two reasons why I will agree with you, okay? Which we haven't talked about yet. The first one is because there is a villain, and I think that's really cool for them to actually have a villain in an episode and play around with that idea. Because usually there's no villains in SpongeBob. They're just dumb adventures, But there is a villain, which is nice to see. And then the second one is I think that the best bit in this episode is better than the best bit in Dying for Pie.
It's like the best bit in Dying for Pie is literally, I think they show it to you in the beginning. It's like, this is a bomb.
Yeah, which is really funny, but like, I think that the best bit in Barnacle Boy is the wallet sequence where they go back and forth, and it's like, okay, logically, I am schooling Patrick, and then Patrick is just like, that's not my wallet, and then that's when Man Ray loses it.
And then SpongeBob is like also on like the spectrum to the point where he can't say, Patrick, that is your wallet.
Yeah.
He's just there like, yes. Oh no, you can't say that to him. Good.
Yeah, because SpongeBob trusts him, right? Because Patrick is like, all right, I have an idea, and SpongeBob's like, okay, yeah, go for it. It's not until the very end of that kind of sequence when SpongeBob is like, well, I don't really know if that's a fair question. I don't, the whole like 1 to 100. He's like, that's not a fair test. That doesn't test anything. That's when SpongeBob tries to, a little bit of conflict there, but.
Also, like, Matrix is savage, picking up Patrick by the head and just going.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that is another one. Yeah, I think I do agree with you because I think there is just more. I think this episode is more dense than Dying for Pie. Because I think Dying for Pie kind of plays on the same joke, and like every joke in the episode is kind of iterative of that idea, whereas this is broader.
It's like, made you a sweater of his tears and you kill him.
That was one of the best lines in any SpongeBob episode. So it is pretty good. And you kill him.
You kill him. It's like, no, self, keep out for Squidward.
Yeah. Keep out for Squidward. Oh yeah, because Squidward said like, I'm gonna give him the best day ever. I'm gonna give him so much love that he's gonna drown in it.
Yeah.
It was good. Listen, Dying for Pie, very close. Very close.
It's a close one. So yeah, for the next one, I got Shanghai and Frankendoodle.
So I'm gonna come out and say Shanghai. I like Shanghai more than Frankendoodle.
All right. It's controversial because I also said Shanghai.
Oh man. It's like we planned this, It's like we're following the script for this podcast perfectly.
it just so happens that we have a big similar taste. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like Shanghai more because again, I think there's, I like the feel of episodes, right? So
For me,
Shanghai
I
is.
have it here as like I wrote it here as a close win for me because Frankendoodle had some good parts here.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it even
Yeah.
had some like horror elements to it that
It's
shares
like, in
with
fact,
Shanghai.
I think the only two episodes I didn't like that much that we were watching, I didn't like Pressure that much, and I don't think I liked Survival of the Idiots that much. But I think everything else I liked quite a bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mhm.
Um,
It's kind of odd because those are both Sandy episodes, and I don't think I dislike Sandy. It's just that those episodes don't.
I mean, I feel like if you find common denominators, right, at some point,
Yeah.
use a scientific method.
I feel like if we had, like, do we have the Alaskan Bullworm on here?
I think that was.
Yeah, we do Sandy's Return to Work. Yeah, that one's gonna be for like a later time. Yeah, and then we have
Oh
Sandy.
yeah.
That should be a good episode. I do like that episode, the Bullworm. So.
But yeah, I think that yeah, no, I mean we're on the same page. I think Shanghai is better. I just think it's cooler. You know, again, another thing, the same thing as Merman Barnacle Boy, we do have a villain, which is really cool. I mean, Frankendoodle, we have a villain as well, but like, it was a villain of their own creation.
Villain. Yeah.
Yeah, where Shanghai is like, we got the Flying Dutchman, and he's acting like the Flying Dutchman, right? You know, he breaks Squidward's home, throws an anchor through it, and then, you know, he takes them as their crew, and like he tries to, you know, have a crew, which it weird doesn't have one right now, but you know, but then it is like SpongeBob and
some great bits in. Like,
yeah,
when like SpongeBob and Patrick are trying to jump off the ship, and then
Yeah.
they keep landing back on it, and
We gotta
Squidward's like,
go.
"Oh, that's all they get."
oh yeah, because there was that bit right where they kept doing it, and then yeah, the Flying Dutchman like threw a fireball at Squidward. He was like, whoa, they're the ones who jumped off. He was like, are you guys gonna try that again? And Patrick was like, maybe. we might try again.
Bring Squidward again.
But yeah, and then with Frankendoodle, it is cool. Again, I really like the concept of the episode. But yeah, I mean it's purely just I think Shanghai is cooler, has cooler bits, has some funnier moments.
I think the most iconic segment to me in Shanghai is literally the perfume section.
Perfume room, yeah. I mean I think that alone wins. You know, where it's just like it's just a stupid idea. Like who in the writing room thought of that? I was like, no. What if we have a bit where it's like live action, and
they're like dodging the perfume in real time, and then you have like Patrick coming in with like a gas mask, and then someone pulls the gas mask so they can perfume him, and then they close it back.
Oh my god, it's good, man. It's great.
And I'm like, this is just me when I walk into the perfume section trying to dodge all the smells. Get me out of here.
But yeah, it's great. It's great. But then we do have a tough decision, right? Because I'm wondering what you're thinking, because
it really is tough, dude. Now, I do have a slight bias here for Man Ray, so I did put Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3.
okay.
I will say, if Shanghai, if there's a good case for Shanghai, I do not care because they're both really good episodes.
Okay.
I do have a bias for.
So, I think my gut says Shanghai, and I don't know why.
See,
You know,
after
because
talking with you, I feel Shanghai, right? Because I'm thinking about the episodes and the moments. Because like, the thing is, there's multiple bits in Shanghai that are much more developed than they are in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3.
mm-hmm.
Like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy do have like those multiple bits, but they're all revolving around that similar concept. Where at least in Shanghai, they're much more varied and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I also think while Merman and Barnacle Boy 3 has a lot of really good bits. Again, it's very dense, but again, a lot of them are kind of based around the Man Ray idea, and I think when it comes to all of the training bits, when they're in, the cave or whatever, I think really the best one and the one that we just remember is the wallet one. Where there are other good ones in there, but it gets overshadowed by that one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't really care about the other ones.
Shanghai has like multiple bits that are memorable. Again, Little Lee. You have the perfume section. We went over the wishes. 5, take it or leave it.
Yeah. He was like,
it's like
3. He was like, and you just see his face, and he's just like, all right, 3. and then SpongeBob like slaps Patrick, and he's like, "We got 3 wishes!" Like he's so excited, and it's like, you guys are idiots. Yeah. I mean, cause.
And then obviously the twist outcome in Shanghai, it ends up being like, oh, they lose anyway. There's no real winning outcome here. It's that, oh, the Flying Dutchman is just better than you.
Yeah, he's just better, and he's a villain, and he's powerful, and he's the Flying Dutchman. He's like, he has stories and told about him,
Yeah. And then like, when watching it as well, I realized that Squidward got Loki, dude, from like Avengers. Or was it? No, it wasn't Avengers. It was like from Thor 3, where he's like, I've been like falling down for like 20 minutes or whatever.
Yep.
Squidward just had to happen to him.
I've been falling for 40 minutes.
And the best thing is, at least for me, I got to see the alternate endings as well for Shanghai.
That is cool, because I didn't remember that until you just said it. I do have a vague memory, like I said, of the Patrick ending. But I mean, if you asked me yesterday about alternate endings, I would say I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that does have another element to it.
I'm fine taking Shanghai forward. You made a great enough case for me.
And I mean, we talked about it in previous rounds. We didn't talk about it in this round. We do a Patchy multiple times in the episode. Patchy and Potty. It's like that's a great addition to any episode.
So yeah, Shanghai takes left side bracket.
Left side win, man.
Flying Dutchman really shows himself as a great character already on season 2.
And so let me I would also like to just remind everyone of the second half, just in case they're not aware what the other side, the right side of the bracket looks like. This side's gonna be interesting, right? Because there are a few episodes here that you said you don't remember, and I'm shocked that you don't remember them. But we do have Band Geeks versus Graveyard Shift.
Remember that one.
We have Procrastination versus Sailor Mouth.
Both iconic episodes.
Yep. We have Artist Unknown versus Frycook Games.
Do not know Artist Unknown. Do not remember it.
Oh, dude. When Artist Unknown is definitely one that when you start watching, you're like, oh, this one. Okay. Squid on Strike versus Sandy, SpongeBob, and the Worm.
Now that one, those two I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some good times.
That's a fun time.
Yeah, I'm interested. We got the whole left side done. I'm interested to see how this bracket turns out and what actually wins. Because a lot of times, I mean, especially with the first season 1 bracket, I mean, it didn't end the way we thought it was going to. So I'm interested to see how this one ends, because, Shanghai winning the left side, that was something that I kind of thought might happen. With the right side, I mean, let me go back to it right now. I feel like an easy pick for the right side would be Band Geeks. I feel like that would be like a very mainstream pick to be like, oh, Band Geeks is gonna win. But my sleeper hit is probably Frycook Games for the right side. I really like Frycook Games, from what I remember at the very least.
I can't really say. I don't remember those episodes, so. But off the ones that I remember here, I would have to say I'm a big fan of Procrastination. I don't remember a lot of it, to be fair, but it does resonate highly. I wouldn't be surprised if that ended up going forward. I'm sorry, I just saw the baby Wonder Egg meme again, and I'm really.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we do have a few more things, Ray. I don't think these will take nearly as much. We'll go nearly in depth on them. I do just want to catch you up on the couple shows that I've been keeping everyone up on. We got My Hero, right? So episodes 12 and 13. Not much to say here. They are going deeper into Deku's quirk, the whole like tentacle thing, trying to figure that out. Bakugo, you know, I don't know if I talked about this already, but I am liking Bakugo the more the show goes on. In the beginning, I didn't get the Bakugo hype. I was like, he sucks as a character. Why do people like him? As the show goes on, I get it. He's a good character. Yeah, not much to say there. They're gonna be doing the whole training. What is it? Work training. I don't know what it is. Whatever. When they team up with heroes, that'd be kind of cool to see. Excited for that. And then Higa Hero, the I Shaved Brought a Girl Home show. That's pretty cool. They finally got to the part where brought her back home and super nervous about it. They're kind of coming to terms with everything, seeing what's going to happen. And then the big cliffhanger for episode 11 was brought her home. She's home. We're here. And the mom slapped the daughter. That's just kind of where the episode ended. I mean, I get why she did it because she's upset with her, but we'll see what her reaction is. If it's more of like a mom, it's like, hey, you're my daughter and you've been away from me for so long. How could you? I worried about you so much. Or if it is her hating her daughter, which has kind of been painted a little bit as well, but we'll see. So I do have, other than those anime, right? I do have two more things. One, I want to talk to you about iCarly, right? Now, how much iCarly have you seen? Would you say?
I've seen I think all of iCarly.
All of iCarly. So I don't want to talk about that though. Were you aware that they rebooted iCarly?
It's on Disney Plus, right?
It is on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus, okay. Yeah, I was aware. I haven't looked into any of it.
Okay, let me tell you. 4 episodes are out, and you know who's watched all 4 episodes? I have, alright?
You have, okay.
Let me tell you. So I don't want to, I don't know if you're going to watch it or not, but maybe I won't I don't really care about spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's just iCarly. If you do watch the reboot, get through the first episode. First episode, not that great. Okay, I was watching it and I was like, this is not going to be a good reboot. This is a disappointment. And I think the problem with it is that they lean too heavy into trying to make you remember that, hey, remember iCarly? Remember how much you loved that show? Well, we're bringing it back. You know, they kind of lean too much into the nostalgia aspect of the show to try to get you hooked on it. Didn't like it at all. Episodes 2, 3, and 4, very funny, very good. So yeah, and anyone out there, it's pretty much, they're now all in their 20s, you know, instead of being in high school or whatever, and they're kind of dealing with their lives there. They're very different. A couple new characters, which are pretty good. You know, people were skeptical about these 2 new characters, but they're pretty good. And like I said, the show is actually pretty funny, you know. So yeah, it's good there. So yeah, if you do start watching that, Ray, just let me know what you think. You know, 'cause I think it's pretty good. And the last thing, Ray, pretty far past this, but did you watch, or maybe you read about it after, about Nintendo's E3?
Yeah.
Was there anything that came out of that you were like, oh man, this is nuts?
Just Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds about it, yeah.
Okay, well let me remind you of some stuff that you should be excited about, Ray. Breath of the Wild 2, yeah, we got that. We got Kazuya being in Super Smash Brothers. Do you care? I know you're a Smash fan.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
care about that at all?
I'm on Tekken grind right now. Yeah, Kazuya being in Smash is pretty hype.
Yeah. Okay.
It upset me when people said like, he's a nobody, but I'm like, y'all, Nintendo
He's-
fans don't play other stuff.
Yeah, like he's like
Like Kazuya's an arcade legend.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. All right, he's been on arcades. All right, y'all don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's
Tekken-
older and ancienter than most of you gamers out there.
Tekken is classic, and Kazuya is like one of probably the 3 main characters of
Yeah,
Tekken.
you can either pick Heihachi, you can either pick Kazuya, or you can pick Jin. It makes sense picking Kazuya because he's the protagonist of the original game,
Yeah.
and he ends up becoming one of the villains, which is nice. It's a great pick.
So we got that. Oh yeah, and then with Zelda, just touch on Zelda for a second. Very excited for that game, but sad that it's 2022. But if they need more time, they
Yeah.
need more time.
Yeah, COVID probably hit them hard with that. Could have probably come out sooner without COVID.
Yeah.
And I'll give them the time for that. Zelda is also a bigger project, so
Metroid Dread. Excited for that. I like
excited.
the whole 2D Metroid thing. So.
It seems like the same team who worked on the 3DS remakes are going to be doing it, so
Mhm.
they did pretty well. So another 2D Metroid in the bag. That seems like a banger.
Mario Party Superstars. Could not be more excited for this.
Don't lie to me.
It's a. What do you mean? Wait, are you?
Don't lie to me. You're actually like. are you
I
being
can't tell if
honest?
this is a bit. Are you
This is
throwing
not
a
a
bit at me
bit.
right now?
No, it's not a bit. I'm actually
What?
genuinely upset at the entire release of Mario Party Superstars.
Okay. So wait. Okay,
I'm
stop. Wait,
disgusted
hold on.
at this
Hold on.
entire
So
concept.
are you upset? Hold on. Okay, hold on just 1 second. Are you upset because the game doesn't look good, or are you upset because they did Super Mario Party dirty?
It's so much that's being done here. Okay, so one is Super Mario Party being done dirty. Okay, that's the first part. Okay, Super Mario Party is being done so dirty it's kind of ridiculous. All right.
Wait, hold on. Right. But we got online play. So I mean, like, I feel like online play. Right? I mean, it came
I know
4
the
years
bit's
later.
coming in from you right now. Yeah, have fun with your bit. Yeah. You knew what you were saying when you brought it up. Congratulations. Nice bit there.
Oh
Doing
man.
it just you're poking the bear. That's great.
Oh, man.
That's
Are we
great.
live streaming on Twitch? Because there's so many bits here. You know what I mean?
Man, it's raining bits. Thanks for the bit donation.
You're welcome.
Kappa 2. Of course.
So other than Mario Party being disrespected, what else about this? What do you got?
Okay. So like they're only releasing. You know what they're doing it? 5 maps.
But 5 new maps, Ray. Come on.
It's
You
not.
know-
It's 5 old maps.
Okay, you're right, but we know that they're good maps.
Okay. They're like. Let me be stressful. They're from like Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
Which are the best Mario
like-
Parties?
Don't lie to me.
What? Mario Party 2 and 3. What are you talking about?
Okay, like Mario Party actually peaked on the GameCube. You know it's true.
Debatable.
You know it's true. You know it
Debatable.
peaked on the game.
Nah,
You know
I
it
don't know
peaked on
about
the
that.
GameCube. Like Mario Party 5 was like, or 4 was like top tier. And they can never chase that high ever again. You know it's true. Yeah, Mario Party 5 like lives on my heart. Yeah.
But you're saying that as if this game will be worse than Super Mario Party. I guarantee you it will
Okay.
not. I guarantee you
It will just
this
be
game will
those-
be better than Super Mario Party.
It probably will be better. Okay, it's just those 5 maps on the Super Mario Party engine, with the same old mini games that they had before.
Sure. But these mini games work now.
Like the mini games never worked before. They've always worked.
I mean, that's debatable. Nintendo 64? Have you when was the last time you picked up the old Nintendo 64 controller, right? When was the last time you blew in the cartridge, you slammed it in, it didn't work, you took it out and you tried again? When was the last time you played that?
It's
And then
been
you're
so
gonna tell me
And,
that
you know. Maybe I should restate that. It's been so anciently long.
you sit there and tell me
They
that,
do
oh,
the
they've
blow on the
always
slap, the
worked.
blow on the slap, the. I think I had the cartridge rusty. The new cartridge. That's the bit right there.
All I'm saying is this game is gonna be way better than the last game. Okay, maybe should they have just done DLC? Possibly, but this game way better than the last one. It's gonna be more fun. There's a lot of Super Mario Party mini games, not great, not that great. Okay, Super Mario Party maps, not that great. Okay, when you talked about this, Super Mario Party, very small. Okay, very small maps. There's not a lot of mischief that can happen on these maps. All right, that's why me and you were gravitated to the 2v2 thing because that was so much better. Okay.
It was better. There's more stuff you could do, more strategic. We could have more stuff with that.
So going this where they have these full-size maps. Remember, we couldn't throw orbs. Remember that? That was a big disappointment. We can't place items on blocks.
Orbs are coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so much. Okay. Is it old? Yes. But you can't say that as if they're not.
But
releasing...
then they're charging the $60 back on it though.
Okay, but are they not releasing Diamond and Pearl remakes that don't really look that good? I'm gonna be honest. They don't look that good.
I also don't believe that those should be. I mean, like.
What was that?
I also don't believe those should be $60 either.
No, I don't think so either. There should be like 40 maybe, because that's usually like the price point for. I mean, because like when they remade the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, that was $40. 3 games.
It's the same with Spyro, yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous. But they don't have to because people are gonna buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna sell like 10 million copies.
Like, why make Mario Party DLC when we can just come out with a new Mario Party game?
Shigeru Miyamoto is just like, he's living life. But off of Mario Party, because I'm gonna buy that game. Okay, it looks fun. I'm gonna get it. I'm not. Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna buy it as well, begrudgingly, because it's just gonna be awful. I'll hate every moment of it.
They announced a new WarioWare game. How could you forget that?
WarioWare is always exciting.
Yeah, we haven't had a new WarioWare game since the 3DS collection, and that was nonsense. Why are you releasing 3DS only games when the Switch was out? What are we doing?
Probably because it was in development, or like I guess we gotta release it anyway.
That's stupid. It's dumb. No one played it. And then Advance Wars. Okay, you didn't mention Advance Wars 1 and 2 coming back. People can finally play that game.
When Advance Wars coming out, actually, they're gonna kill off Fire Emblem.
As they should. Fire Emblem, dead franchise. I've been saying it for years.
All your Fire Emblem fans,
saying it for years.
You've had your fun for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Go sit back down in the corner. It's Advance Wars time.
Turns out Sakurai is gonna delete all the Fire Emblem characters from Smash Brothers. We don't need them. Guardians of the Galaxy, not a Nintendo game, but it was in the showcase. That game looks pretty okay. Pretty okay. Super Monkey Ball, I don't know if you have any attachment to that franchise, but I do remember playing it on the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, something like that. Pretty cool there. And then something I thought maybe you would care about, because I think you like Monster Hunter, is that right? Am I wrong?
I do be liking Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter Stories 2, does that do anything for you?
It's interesting. Nothing like, I may be appeased to try it.
How do you feel about those monsties?
I've been liking Rise. Rise is pretty good right now. Rise is fun. I haven't gotten my HR super uncapped yet to fight Valstrax yet, though. You need HR 100 to fight Valstrax.
Okay.
The new Valstrax is probably like my favorite monster, though, based on everything I've seen. So dope. The best way to explain Valstrax is that he's like a jet fighter plane dragon. He has like jet wings. He's so cool.
Okay.
The greatest.
But yeah, that was it. And everything else. Yeah, that was I just want to talk about Nintendo E3 a little bit, because I watched all the other E3 stuff as well, but I didn't think anyone would care. So I thought the Xbox's E3 was good. A lot of good games there. I don't know if you watched the Devolver Digital E3, but that was wild. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. They just had like this whole like skit kind of around their reveals, and it was ridiculous.
I gotta wait. I like to wait for the Game Awards because I want to see that one studio come back again every year. That one guy.
Oh yeah, his newest
Yeah.
game, It Takes Two, is out.
Yeah,
Game looks pretty
Yeah.
fun.
we could do it. We could play Takes Two.
Oh, we could, if
We
only.
could be the two.
Oh, we could be the two, but then who will be the it and who will be the takes?
We'll have to find out.
So there's so much to consider. Yeah, right. That's all
But
I
yeah,
got
no,
on
I
my
saw-
list.
For Xbox One, it was pretty cool because I saw the Halo. They're gonna plan multiplayer being free,
It is, yeah. Free multiplayer.
which is exciting because I was like, I may try Halo. If multiplayer is free, I know like some people are gonna be getting the multiplayer. Well, gonna be getting the game for the campaign. But like, if multiplayer is free, I'll hop on. Halo is pretty polished for the most part, and based on everything they showed in the gameplay that they have, it seems that they're keeping it that way.
Yeah, it looks
Definitely gonna
fun.
jump in for Halo multiplayer. That will be my shooter of choice. In, like
Ooh, of
a couple.
choice.
months. I'll be grinding that out. I gotta get the perfect Spartan, dude.
Yeah, I mean they just show off some of the cosmetics and it looks pretty cool.
And like the only thing that they're gonna have like the best thing any free to play player wants to hear is only paid cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
Or like there's gonna be certain exclusive paid cosmetics, but most of it's going to be free. It's like the best thing you could hear. Like there's no pay to win option. It's just only cosmetic options for you're paying.
Yeah.
Like beautiful.
It's good. Yeah. Oh,
You gonna buy
another
that battle
thing.
pass for Apex?
Do you play Apex?
No, I don't play Apex. I was asking you if you're gonna buy it.
Oh,
for
okay.
Apex.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Yo,
not.
I heard you play Watson.
I don't. You see, Ray, we went over this earlier in the episode. You're gaslighting me, and I don't appreciate it. Okay?
I thought you told me you play like Lifeline and Watson.
You are spreading lies about me. I'm not that selfish.
I heard you stayed up till like 4 a.m. trying to grind up for one win.
That is way too long.
You were like, I need to get a win. I can't get off until
I feel like at some point you gotta cut your losses, right? You gotta be like, this is it.
I talked about like League of Legends, you know, like I used to play League, and there were times where we would play and we'd be like, okay guys, we're not getting off until we win.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
It would be like 2 a.m. and we're like,
I mean, I need to sleep, but we haven't won yet.
and it's like, dude, I mean, and then like you begrudgingly like everyone's like making jokes and like haha like after the first 2 losses, but after like the fifth loss, you're all like quiet and everyone's focused, and then like okay bye, you know, like it's like everyone's like thanks for playing, you know, it's everyone's like all upset with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So good. That's why I stopped playing League of Legends. You know, Tekken's a much more enjoyable time. I think Apex is also enjoyable as long as I play with friends. Got a lobby one. I will say that I played Apex a couple times with friends, and I've gotten 2 victories.
Okay.
That's over like I think like a couple hours of gameplay.
That's
I
not
will
bad.
say I was carried, but the secret is allowing yourself to be carried and not being a detriment to the team.
The secret is knowing how bad you are and then playing to that.
You see, now I could be like, oh, give me the best gun, but the best gun's useless on me. You take the best gun, I'll take the scraps, and if I see anything, I'll let you know. Allow yourself to be carried if you're bad. That's the best part. In multiplayer games, if you have a team.
Some people fight it. I just go with it.
If once you accept that, the ranked procedure goes good for you. You played Overwatch for a bit, you know.
I have,
you
yeah.
got someone on your team who's like better than you, who are you to say, dude, like stop doing what you're doing? No. Let them go. Let them breathe. Let them foster. I'm gonna do everything in this guy's right to make him win the game. He's sweating, dude. Who am I to make him lose?
Says I'm freaking out.
And like, imagine if like you lose the game and like he flames you, and you're gonna be like, you're just gonna think about it the entire time. Like, he's just way better than me. Why was he cute? Oh man, it do be like that though.
Do be like that.
Right. So yeah, I do Tekken now. That's a single player game. So every mistake is my own mistake.
It's on you.
So when I say I suck, I'm garbage. Yeah.
I did have another thing I wanted to ask you, Ray. When were you planning on watching the Demon Slayer movie?
Is this already?
It is, yep. It's on streaming, which means that you can get it legally or the other way.
I mean, we can watch it now if you like, this week.
This week? Okay.
Cause like, what are we doing? We're not doing anything really.
Well, we're doing, we're finishing up, or we're doing next two of To Your Eternity, and the other one,
Finishing
Tokyo
Tokyo.
Revengers. Finish Tokyo Revengers. We're watching an episode of Sunny Boy. And we're doing the
Loki episode.
Yeah, the Wonder Egg, and then the 4 Spongebob
Okay, then I guess we can do it next week then.
next week. When you say next week, not this week we're about to do stuff, but the next
The
one.
next recording one, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because we're doing Wonder Egg and we're doing Sunny Boy.
We are. That is true.
So we can fit like Demon Slayer movie and next week.
Cool beans, man.
Directly.
Because I hear that is amazing. I hear that that's an amazing movie. People love it, so.
Yeah, people like it, dude. It's a good movie, from what I've heard.
Dude.
And I guess the numbers speak for themselves. In any case.
Numbers don't lie. We all know this. There's no way you can fabricate numbers. I mean, come on, it's math.
No, of course not, dude. Not when they're being globally tracked.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't have anything else. That was my whole list. It was a big episode this week, but we got through it. It was all good. Next week's gonna be interesting. A lot of new stuff. So yeah. So make sure, I'll just say it again. Make sure to watch next to Your Eternity. Finish up Tokyo Revengers. Do we know if that's actually gonna finish up, or is there gonna be one like hangover episode? Because it's like 13.
Let me see. Tokyo Revengers is like 12 or 13.
Yeah. But yeah, just watch whatever's out. Tokyo Revengers. Hopefully it'll be the end. We got the next 4 of Spongebob. Watch the Sunny Boy episode, or I guess don't. Either way, whatever. Because I mean, the only reason we're watching it is just to come on and be like, hey, this show looks like one we're gonna keep, or it looks like one we're not gonna keep. So you could not watch it if you don't want to. And then we're gonna do the Wonder Egg OVA, because that's gonna be.
No one knows
cool.
right now if it's 12 or 13.
Okay, that's fine. If it bleeds over, then it's just one extra episode. That's fine. Yeah. That's it, Ray. You got anything else for me? Or for anyone
That's
else?
all I got.
Oh man, that's
Very-
it. So yeah. I guess we'll see everyone next time.